Wisconsin app. The Brewers getting a bounce-back win over the Atlanta Braves 4-1 last night. They face the Braves again in a rubber match right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Tausch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the Wednesday edition. You've heard of the Summer of George. It's the Summer of Wilde and Tausch on tour, although I'm not on tour. I mean, I'll be somewhere other than the basement later, but it won't be where these two knuckleheads are. Edition. The Jair is gone, and the Packers are replacing him with Bo Melton. Edition. And I feel like my facial expressions in the background of Brian Gutekunst talking yesterday have gone semi-viral. We don't need them to go any more viral than they have. Edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, all-customizable ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Now, I didn't know that we were going to do some sort of big reveal here. But Chrissy, by the way, Chrissy Birdsall, our cousin sub of the day for Jesse. Cousin subs, we believe better. Good morning, Chrissy.
Good morning, Jason.
I didn't. Was this a secret? Did I miss a meeting? Because live.
Do you ever go to meetings though?
I do. I was at the content call last week.
Okay.
I hear you're supposed to eat at them if you attend them in person. From beautiful American Family Field.
Look at us. Yeah.
The dynamic duo.
Oh, God.
I don't know if they carpooled. I do know they're together in the broadcast booth. Jesse Nelson and the Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher. Good morning, boys. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I just got this is not an understatement. We've been to some cool places. We've done a lot of remotes. I would say this was the best welcome I've ever gotten at a remote. Ever.
Christian Yelich gave you his pants?
Close. I think I'd rather have this than Yelly's pants, if I'm being honest.
Well, what happened?
Jesse?
So we walk in the booth here. We're in the press box at American Family Field. For those that are watching on the video stream, I'm going to move this computer around for a second. So this is our view of the stadium right here. We are like in one of the broadcast booths in press row.
I think this is where Dom
level.
does the post-game show on WTMJ and on
Okay.
100.5. I think this is where we always do the show, and we've done this now, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 times. A couple summers we did it a couple times. Last year we did not get down here, but we got down here, and Jesse got here early, which was shocking. But we got here, I don't know, 10 minutes before the show got
10 minutes. Great. So, wait, did you ride together or
we did not?
No, separate cars today. Separate cars.
Okay.
So, yeah, I got here a little earlier than Tausch did, and I walk into the booth, and they've redone a couple of things here since we were last in the booth. So, number one, outside of the booth, it's all digital signs for who's in each one. So, like the Brewers TV booth is a couple spots down. It says, digitally, Jeff Levering, Bill Schroeder, Sophia Minner. That's pretty cool. Right next to that, the radio booth with Lane Grindle and Josh Maurer on the call on 620 WTMJ, 100.5 ESPN Madison. And then we get down to the booth that we're in, and usually it's just, extra space. It might not be used for a Wednesday day game like this. Has the Wilde and Tausch logo right outside of the booth.
Welcome, Wilde and Tausch.
Pretty awesome.
So it's already
check that out.
It's
on the
already
video
like,
stream.
man, thank you for. Gosh, is it nice to feel welcome? That was awesome.
So that's outside the booth when we walk in. I'm like, that's pretty awesome. So I come in here, I turn on the lights, I start to get our equipment set up, and I turn to my left, and look what we see on the wall. Right behind Tausch. That is a framed picture. And Chrissy's got a great view of it on our video stream here, so I don't have to hold the camera up to it.
If you're listening on terrestrial radio, Tausch is giving Prince Fielder hitting tips in like a 16 by 20 photo.
Should we not be wearing cotton pants was the first thing that I kind of jumped out at.
So that is a framed picture here in the press box right next to us. Special. I'm guessing it's not up year-round. I'm guessing that's just for today. They took the extra step to welcome us with the framed picture of Tausch and Prince Fielder taking batting practice. And then I turn around.
Yeah, this is just, it is ice cream on top ice cream cake.
And on the other wall, we've got another framed picture. This is on the opposite side wall if you're watching on the video show. This is Tausch in action in the cage taking batting practice.
Hitting bombs.
Here at American
It looks to me like
Field.
the ball's right behind him, though.
No, that's not a ball, Jason.
You got to take one first. See what the batting practice pitcher's got.
Take it till his first strike. Well, that's
How about
great.
that welcome? Isn't that awesome?
It's as good as it gets. Yeah, it was really
So,
nice.
so are you going to inquire, like, will they store those then for our next visit? Are they going to send you home with them? Like, what? This is amazing.
Much like I took Cece's pants.
Oh,
I don't know what I'm not going to steal it.
Gonna smuggle
Would I love
tuck it under his shirt?
Do I want the picture of Prince and then eventually find a way to get him to sign that? Yes, I do. So it just awesome. Like I could not have been. It was a nice drive down. I wasn't driving with Jesse. It was just. It's going to be a beautiful day, and this was just a beautiful welcome. So thank you to the Milwaukee Brewers for being so welcoming to us.
Well, I will be at Packers Minicamp. Otherwise, I would have enjoyed coming down and doing the show with you there. I guess I would have had to email Brewers PR the photo of me with Jim Sundberg getting my picture taken on picture day, or maybe me sitting on Larry Sorensen's lap in 1979 at a Gimbals. But that's awesome. And thank you to the Brewers for making us feel welcome in the booth. It is a Brewers game day. Jesse, are you holding out any hope that given your relationship with Jeff Levering on the TV side or with the radio announcers that now you can be heard, that are heard on 100.5 ESPN Madison and, of course, 620 WTMJ, that maybe since Tausch got his pictures, you'll maybe get like a half-inning invite to come into the booth and, do some of the light work of calling a few batters.
I'm always waiting for when the time calls, Jason. You know that.
Going to the left-hander out of the pen kind of a thing.
I was thinking on my way in, so, my dad was an usher here at American Family Field.
I have never heard that before.
For a while.
Yeah, that's
and
interesting.
This was the first time we've done the show here that walking in, I've had something crossed off my bucket list, which was sliding down Bernie's slide. We got to do that last September before the playoff run. And so I thought, what's next on my Brewers AmFam Field bucket list because, like, I've done that now, and that's been it since I was a kid. And so I decided I know what the next thing is. I want to play the organ.
Oh, you're good at it.
That's the next thing I wanted. I want to play. I don't know where the organ is. I don't know where they keep it. I don't know.
I would think it's got to be out in left field, right? Isn't the organ out?
I'm gonna go try and trek around and find the organ. That's the next thing on my Brewers bucket list. I want to play the organ in the stadium.
There you go.
I love that idea. I love it better than you calling a half inning.
Well, I like that idea too. I'll take a full game if Levering's under the weather.
I also love it better, but I'm more morbidly curious, given that you have proclaimed yourself capable of playing an inning at second base for the Madison Mallards. Do you believe that translates to the major league level?
No. Big difference, Jason. Big difference. Northwoods League, you're still up. You're not even a single-A baseball player at that point. These are still college kids. And I'm just saying, for one inning, I can get away with playing second base for
if
the
no
Madison
balls
Mallards.
get hit.
Yeah, a major league baseball game, that's absurd. That would be a ridiculous it might be like there's a lot of innings that the second baseman doesn't do anything, so there's still a chance it would work out. But I wouldn't proclaim that the same way I would for a Northwoods League team. The Madison Mallards, the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, the Kenosha Kingfish, or anybody in between. I could easily play second base for one inning for one of those.
The Lakeshore Chinooks.
That would also
still
qualify.
around?
Yes. Yep. All those would suffice. I'm trying to think. The Kalamazoo, whatever they are.
Tigers.
Good one.
Mudhen? No, Mudhen's is
I think
somebody
it's the
else.
Tigers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's nothing going on the field right now other than grounds crew work.
Tausch's favorite activity. They are watering the dirt.
They're good. Field looks great. The doors aren't open yet, but the roof is. Be a good day. Be a nice day.
Looks very nice and sunny out there. All right. Well, we'll see how distracted you guys are as you call. You don't call the game, but you'll be doing the show from the booth. Tausch, one thing never changes no matter where you are, no matter where I am. We're always going to talk about our love of Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Indeed, and it is time to upgrade your windows and doors, and you don't want to spend a fortune? Well, Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every budget. Right now, you get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years, so if the plan is to wait, well, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments for up to 2 years later. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends June 30th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Now, scheduled to appear on today's program, it is Wednesday, so it is a Bryan Bulaga Wednesday. It is not a Homer Wednesday. He's not going to join us today. Do you have anyone else
I think Chorio
lined up
last night? Is that why he's not coming on? You had to trade Jackson Chorio. He had a home run.
Did he take a
night.
walk, though?
So I think Homer said, I'll probably wait till he has a tough day, and then we'll come back on.
Bill Schroeder of the Brewers TV network is scheduled to appear as we get into the 11 o'clock hour of the show.
All right, so no Jackson Churio, no Pat Murphy. Are you going to go down and talk to Pat Murphy and say either I'm sorry that I questioned whether you should be on the hot seat?
I am going to put Jesse on the hot seat. If we get a chance, I am going to introduce Jesse to Pat Murphy, and then I will bring that up and just see what Pat has to say.
And will you bring it up as I'm wondering if it might
Jesse,
be better to say.
how would you want me to bring that up?
Because you said to bring it up.
You said
Jesse-
you'd say
here
that to his face. You did say that, and I was actually setting you up for this day.
Yeah.
And now, if this does happen, which I probably would be inappropriate on my part, an hour before the game to do that.
Yeah.
Will I do it? Yeah. If I feel the motive, like the mood and the motif is right, I would do that.
I don't even want you to bring it up to Bill Schroeder because it's still not what I said. I never said I wanted Pat Murphy fired. You construed
But
it
you
to
didn't
be that. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. All I asked at Pablo's birthday bash.
I had nothing to do with any of this.
When the Brewers were. Oh, you had everything to do with it. All I asked at the birthday bash was when they were in a bad slump, couldn't score any runs, under 500, fourth place in the division. I said, at what point do we think about having a conversation about Pat Murphy? That's all I asked, and you would have thought I was trying to burn down the franchise and move to Indianapolis.
No, you just wanted Pat Murphy fired. That was all.
We're
not saying you wanted to burn
I
anything
didn't
else down.
want him fired. I don't want him fired. I think he's really a great manager. He's the reigning manager of the year.
Yeah,
Nobody wants him fired.
It's funny how quick things change when you get a couple of cans of Sprite and it's not bad. You get welcomed in nicely. All of a sudden, your whole mood changes.
Get to play the organ.
I prefer
I
prefer Starry myself personally.
I think you should introduce some. Pat, I just wanted to introduce you to Jesse. He wants to say you're welcome for lighting a fire under your team by publicly questioning your ability to manage this ball club.
It is quite the coincidence that that's when things turned around, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Quite the coincidence.
It is a coincidence.
Yeah.
All right, we will hear from a variety of folks that spoke yesterday at Packers minicamp as the first practice is in the books. They will practice again today and tomorrow. Meanwhile, Jesse and Tausch will be at AmFam Field for today's game. As Jesse mentioned, not only will we have Bryan Bulaga coming up at 9:30, but also scheduled to appear our good friend Bill Schroeder from the Brewers Television Network. That's all still ahead, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit maplehillgolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
We're on the Badgers.
There are moments where it feels like you're close, but taken holistically, those look like blips.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
To win a championship, you have to consistently be that team.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Wilde and Tausch rolls on with Jesse and Tausch. Welcomed, a hero's welcome to AmFam Field. What is that? What are you doing? Are you dancing?
I realized I was out of the frame, so I pulled in. Like
you did like the Collinsworth slide. Yeah, that's nice. Packers did have the first day of their 3-day minicamp yesterday. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers' first day of work with the Pittsburgh Steelers gained a few more headlines, including his mysterious unknown wife, which people were reacting to on social media. People were also reacting to my skeptical facial expression when Goody talked to us in the middle of practice.
Did you text old boy congratulations on his nuptials?
No, I texted him and said, I hope your first day at your new job went well. Again, I don't know. But there was a lot going on at Packers practice. We'll get into some of it with Bryan Bulaga coming up. But among the things that we discussed, Matt LaFleur talked after practice. We had a couple of back and forths yesterday. Here is one of our exchanges after practice.
Yesterday, Mark Murphy said that in some ways the playing without Jair is so much that you know how to handle it. Is there something to that there's, you got to see these guys as much as you did, that you know what it's like playing without a guy who was your number one court? Like, is there actual value in that, or is it just sort of a...
I mean, yeah, I think that can be the case with, it's football, right? There's things that happen, and you've got to be able to pivot and adjust, and, maybe whether it's game plan wise or just guys going in there and picking up kind of where the other guy left off. So, but that's just the nature of the beast.
He was obviously so good as a man-to-man cover guy and taking another one wide out. The guys that you have fit better what you and Jeff want to do from a coverage standpoint, or at least?
Well, I think the first thing you always look at from a corner is, can they play man-to-man? And if you got it, but it's not just, you need multiple people that can play man-to-man. So it's, whether it's safeties and backers, there's always, matchups that you got to account for. So I would say, but one of the first things that you look at when you're evaluating a guy is their ability to go out and play man coverage, because that's arguably the toughest thing to do.
So I basically went 0 for 2 on getting actual answers there.
Yeah, I was going to say that was.
And
I don't think your questions were long enough. If I'm being honest, you went too short, and he just gave you kind of curt, like, oh yeah. Oh,
yeah,
sure.
not as short as my question about how good he feels about having the same 3 specialists back, and his answer was very good. And then there was a long, awkward pause before I said, well, why? But, Tausch, my point is that this idea that, they're used to playing without Jair. Goody made the comment yesterday that they feel really good about having 3 starting caliber corners in Carrington Valentine, Nate Hobbs, and Keyshawn Nixon. The idea that, they want to play more cover 3 zone, and Jair's a man-to-man guy, so it's not really that big of a... That felt like a lot of spin to me, And I thought the way that was kind of handled by LaFleur yesterday with those questions just confirmed that they're obviously interested in making this seem like not a big loss, and I'm not sure if that's actually accurate.
Well, they didn't have him for most of the last season. So
10 games.
I think that's most of the season. So when you start looking at it, I think everybody thought they studied Jeff Hafley. Oh, he's aggressive. He's going to do this. And good coaches, you're not just tied in. You have your foundation, but you're not just tied into your system. You have to adjust to what your players are best at. And I think that's what he's trying to tell you. If you can have the greatest shutdown corner of all time, but you still have to make sure that your other guys can cover. If you're going to do that, that means you're going to play more man. You have to have 2 or 3 other guys and linebackers that can do it, or people will pick you apart. There's a reason people didn't throw at Deion, and I think Jair Alexander, and I'm not comparing him to Deion Sanders, but in 2020 he was a big boy player.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the stats from again, I don't know who the dude was on Twitter, but it was remarkable to look at. And that was the goal. I think that's what you were hoping, and obviously things happened and you couldn't continue to do that. You now look at it and you say, can the sum of all of our parts be better than just having one stud shutdown and you have a bunch of guys that are kind of average? You find ways to work within your system, and that is what you're going to end up trying to find, guys that complement each other that can help make this defense as aggressive and as turnover, hunting as you possibly can. That is what the goal of this thing is going to be, and they did that last year. Jair, we all know that if Jair was healthy, it'd be awesome to have him. He'd be a great chess piece that you could utilize.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you lost your knight, man. Now start playing with your rook and start playing with your bishop, and you still got a king, queen. You still have other pieces. Don't just tip the chessboard over and say, I don't have a knight. We can't play anymore. No. Get your blank out there and figure it. You start using your pawns better and start using, if you got a castle, if you got to do some different things, go for it, figure it out. That's where Jeff Hafley has to be the chess master. He's got to be Bobby Fischer. You don't have your knight anymore. Deal with it. Figure it out. Everybody pouting and crying about it. All right, it's over. Move it along.
Okay, I don't. The castle.
Castling? It's where you can flip flop. I think it's your rook and maybe a bishop. I don't. It's it's the end piece, the rook, and then you move it to another piece, and that can be your move. You can be. I'm in a castle.
It's a rook and a king.
A rook and a king. There you go.
Thank you, Chrissy. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Well, you're no offense. You're more of a checkers guy, probably. Would be my guess, right? I said no offense.
I don't think it's going to be quite a day. I don't think that anyone is saying that you're tipping over the chessboard and saying game over.
No, so here's where and again, I was on with KBN yesterday, and I think they're doing this now just to rile me up.
Uh-huh.
But they are literally they're trying to say that Goody doesn't want to win a championship because they let Jair Alexander go. And I'm looking at it saying, if you want to make an argument, say there's $46 million in cap space that should be getting used, I can have that conversation. But to sit here and say because somebody they knew was not coming back and they went and picked up, according to you, a physical slot corner for $10 million, the Jair scenario, we knew he wasn't coming back. There was these other reports, Schrager and others, saying, I don't know, he might be back. And then you get this hope back that you're going to have 2020 Jair Alexander back. Guys, Jair Alexander's 2020 season was phenomenal. You might as well. That's 30 years ago in my books. 30 years ago.
All right, last thing on this so we can get to Bulaga. So are you as enamored or confident in Keyshawn Nixon, Nate Hobbs, and Carrington Valentine as the general manager seemed to be yesterday, talking about them in very high regard and saying we have 3 starting caliber guys. They've started 95 games. He did sell them as, hey, we don't need to go out and get someone else. we're good at corner, even though after those three guys, they got a bunch of guys who've never played in the league. Barely played any snaps whatsoever. Gregory Jr. has 111 defensive snaps in his career. He's the only other player on their roster at corner who has played a regular season defensive down in the NFL.
No, I think to question if you have a number one corner is fair. I know Keyshawn Nixon wants to be that guy, and you can go back and look, and again, I've said this all week, I think we all have overemphasized that playoff game against Philly. I know I have. I have forgotten until that picture shows back up in my head of Kevin O'Connell smiling watching Sam Darnold get doused in his locker room, torching the G&G. So do I believe Goody is completely content with what he's got? I think he is saying all the right things. But if there was a great corner that became available and was available for the G&G to pick up, he'd be here tomorrow. And that's why you got Bo Melton playing DB, and that's why you're doing other things. So I respect the fact Goody's saying all the right things, but actions, boss, and about words, and the actions would say, we'll see. We hope. But to have supreme confidence, you want to have supreme confidence in your guys. They want to be better, and for certain they want to be deeper. They don't know what they have with Kalen King and Micah. There is an unknown, which you have to let play out. But the argument would be, is there somebody out there that you think could come in and help? And I am not in the Jalen Ramsey camp. I would have rather had Jair come back. And I'll be curious what the rest of the league feels about Jair Alexander and where he ends up going and how much money he makes. Because I still believe, and I saw Matt Bowen's piece on him yesterday, still very good reviews, again, when healthy. This would have been an awesome thing to keep Jair to help and not bank completely on him. But I can assure you, I think everybody would feel better if Jair Alexander was still the number one corner on this team. That secondary room looks a lot better.
No doubt about that. All right, we got to talk to Bryan Bulaga. We always love that on Wednesdays. Want to remind you, whether it's the Damian Lillard trade story, whether it's Behind the Bucks and talking about Bucks and Six and Brandon Jennings' life story, whether it's their experiences in the Olympics or it's Giannis's documentary, all those stories are told in a unique manner on the Behind the Bucks podcast presented by Gallagher. Right now you can find it on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get your podcast. Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Bryan Bulaga, joins us next. Wilde and Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Baseball is back. Bryan Bulaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim
Brian,
and Jeff
can you
hit
hear
the
me?
game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away from our
All right,
smartphones,
perfect.
we
We're
can
in a
open the
commercial
garage
break
door,
right now,
dim the
so
lights,
we will
turn on the
get you a
TV,
few
as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
When it comes to your health, do you want to buy something online or do you want to meet with someone local? A local doctor with a family-owned business that cares about you. That's right, you want to meet with Nestor Rodriguez and Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. You have questions about cryotherapy, red light therapy, hormone replacement treatments, GLP-1s, or you just want to have a great workout. Carbon World Health is there for you. They have a new location in Sun Prairie and they have their original location in Madison. So when it comes to your health, there's nowhere better to go than Carbon World Health in Madison and now in Sun Prairie.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Now through August 17th. Play free daily in the Quick Rewards app and earn bonus plays with every eligible purchase. Grab one with hot food. That's 2 bonus plays. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, all the way to a $250,000 grand prize. So open the app and get climbing. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Atlanta Braves.
Back onto the track, turning, watching it fly. It's up, it's gone! 2-run home run, Jackson Chorio.
Today on 100.5 ESPN.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none.
You know what that music means.
Here in this big city.
Time to talk to our famous friend. It is Bryan Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch. Bryan, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
How's it going for you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, there we go.
I'm great. Question off the top.
Sleeveless today, huh? Showing those big old guns.
Sun's out, guns out. Yeah.
Look at you.
I just got back from. I literally just got in from a workout. I had to get it all in. Sorry, I didn't get to change for you. I'm sorry. I didn't get.
Hey man, you look good, dude. You got those. Let those guns breathe.
Can we get a flex?
Yeah, flex it up, big fella. No.
Come on. Come on, Blue. What are you, chicken?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so party pooper. Bryan, yesterday, and look, I will acknowledge that, and Tausch points this out fairly frequently. I tend to maybe overestimate the talents of players that I like personally. It's a flaw of mine. I recognize it. That's why I thought Tausch was such a great player. Hey-o! But Bo Melton is playing corner along with special teams and wide receiver. And the normal thought process in my brain is when they start moving you to different positions, it's a precursor to them moving you out of the building. I don't want to believe that's the case because Bo is one of the really, really good humans on this team. And Matt LaFleur admits publicly that he's one of his favorite players. I just love everything about the guy. And he is a critical special teams piece. With all that said, A, what did you think when you saw this? And B, if Mike McCarthy had come to you and said, Bryan, We've tried out Gooch at left guard in a playoff game when we were down a few men. We want you to go both ways. Where would you play?
In the Dom Capers defense, I'd probably be a four-tech. I'd probably be a punch and read guy. You know, I mean, longish, not really long.
Not for a tackle.
I'd have to overextend myself at times, which is okay. I mean, hey, you know who did it for a long time and was pretty good at it was Dean Lowry. And Dean Lowry didn't have the longest arms either. So and Dean did pretty well for himself. Mm-hmm. So I would probably be a four-tech. That would probably be my because listen, I'm not heavy enough to play the nose. I'd get moved out of there, no problem. Too tall too. But that's
certainly
probably where
not anymore.
Yeah, I'd get killed. So that'd probably be where they'd have to put me. But when I saw that yesterday, I when I was scrolling through my phone, I was literally laughed to myself because I don't I don't get it. Like the news comes out, Jair's released, and then bang, right there, Bo Melton is playing corner or getting tried out at corner. Like that, come on. Like that, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's not hey, don't worry, we have Bo Melton to play corner now. He's going to get a shot at this. Like it's not. It makes no sense. To me, is what it sounds like is they know that wide receiver room is getting pretty full. Right, like you only carry 5, maybe 6 max, right? Like
they
that's
carried 7 at times. They did carry 7 at times, and they won't have Christian Watson until sometime later in the year.
I don't know, man. I watched Watson throwing that med ball around on that bad leg. He's 6 months post surgery.
Okay, so I
don't know, Jimmy.
But Jason, let's look at the numbers now, right? Like the offensive line is going to carry more this year just based off of draft picks and who they've kept, right? Mm-hmm. Like so, the O line is going to carry more than they did last year, no matter what, just on who they've drafted, who they currently have. It's just and who they've picked up in free agency. Like they're just going to carry more guys on the offensive line, which you got to cut numbers somewhere. Numbers have to it has to balance out somewhere in some way, shape, or form. And carrying 7 wideouts every year is just it's just kind of a wild number. So listen, I guess the more you can do, but playing both ways and being a wide receiver for the last how many years and saying, hey, go play some DB for us when you haven't played DB. I just don't understand it. I don't think it's a fix for losing Jair. Like it doesn't make much sense to me.
The timing,
I don't think that's
the timing wasn't great, right? Because it does open you up to the jokes of, well, they've decided to replace Jair with Bo Melton. So I agree with that.
Like it's just, and listen, I know that's not the thought. It's what it looks like, but
right.
I don't that transition has never worked out for anyone in the NFL. Like you've been a wide receiver for the last 3 years. Now let's go play some DB. Like it's never worked. Like I don't know. I guess someone, as Homer always says in the Institute, please go check that for me. But there's no way that's ever worked. But I just but I don't know. I mean, listen. I hope for him, for Bo Melton, that is I hope whatever he does, I hope he gives it 110% and it works out for him and he's able to show that he's able to do multiple things, so he's able to retain a roster spot. Obviously, he's very valuable in special teams. It's putting him in a bind, right? The kid in a bind, because obviously his talent level, he's been able to stay on the team from a special team standpoint and a wide receiver standpoint. Now they're kind of pulling the wide receiver role underneath him and putting him in a DB standpoint where he hasn't played much or at all, technically, and saying, hey, now you got to try to make this club from a DB standpoint and a special team standpoint, and that's tough. And it's kind of a low percentage, opportunity besides the special teams thing, which he's obviously very valuable at. It's just it's a head scratcher, put it that way.
I look at it the opposite way. I think if they didn't care, it'd be like, all right, you can try it and we'll keep you maybe or maybe not. But the fact that he's a valuable special teams guy, the fact that he's a willing blocker and one of the, him and Heath are kind of that's their role on this team. And then not saying, again, that he is going to be lined up against Amon St. Brown on opening week, but you can get better. And I think they like his speed, they like his talent, and maybe he can, in a pinch, when there's injuries in a game. You know how valuable it is when you're in that, and as an O-lineman, they dress 7, sometimes 8. You better be able to snap the football. If you want to be lock, stock, not worried about Matt Klein coming over to you Sunday morning saying, yeah, you're not up this week. You better have a very diverse set of skills if you're not one of these starters. Mm-hmm. So I look at it this way, and I think this is from Matt LaFleur really likes him. What can we do to keep this young man on the team? What can we do to keep him? And this might be this extra layer of what you can do, whether it's coming in and playing a safety spot, whatever it would be. If somebody gets injured, that might be the thing that keeps him on this team. And the fact that he's so willing to do it, they already know what kind of dude he is. He does that. I look at it as it's not oh boy. You'd much rather say, hey, he's going to be the 4th wideout. But after the draft, you realistically, that's not going to be the case.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope you're right and Brian's wrong. I'm not sure,
Bo Melton
though.
ain't making you don't think Bo Melton's making his team?
No, I want to believe. No, I want to believe that he is because of everything you said. The coach, the special teams coordinator, the head coach, both want him on special teams. He was the first one during 2023 to have a 100-yard receiving game. We've seen him be a productive receiver. Yeah. He feels like a guy that you want to have around. You don't want him to be your number 1 corner. You don't want him to be your number 1 receiver, but you want to have him on the team. And also, for a team that, we keep hearing about leadership, you can be, if you're a Bo Melton guy with his personality, we talked to Tucker Kraft about him yesterday. We talked to Jordan Love about him. There are those guys on the team that aren't the, franchise left tackle or the starting quarterback that can be valuable in the leadership structure. Tell me if I'm wrong, Brian, but there's a value to that too. So I want to believe that this is hey, the more you can do, we want to keep you anyway, and we want you to give us one more reason to keep you. But the truth of the matter is what Brian said. Very rarely, maybe they just saw Travis Hunter and said, hey, we need us one of those. And Bo Melton, whose brother's a corner in the league, was the first guy they thought of.
Yeah, Tausch, I get it. Dude, I'm so there that they want to keep him and they want to find more reasons to keep him. I get it. They like him, and that's what I'm saying. I liked him at receiver and I liked him on special teams. That's why seeing him out practicing at DB the other day, I kind of laughed at it, and the timing of it made me laugh at it even more. I don't understand, because now we talk about it with Travis Hunter too. I get he's the first pick or second pick, whatever it was, and they traded for him. Obviously, he's making the team no matter what. Been doing, right? How is he showing that he is going to be valuable besides obviously his special teams contributions when he goes out and practices and trains? And what's he doing? Is he playing defense? Is he playing offense? What's he showing to compete against other guys in spots that he is more valuable than this guy in this position? And giving his best foot forward, because as you know, in training camp, is he going to run routes against these guys, or is he guarding these guys? And is he going to be gassed guarding these guys, or is he going to be gassed running routes against those guys? Mm-hmm. And that's a tough thing to do in camp. It just is. And then when he goes in, the joint practices, he's going to be running back and forth from, one team to the next team to the next. It's just going to be difficult for him to do. That's the only thing I'm concerned about when it comes to just him personally. It's just a tough assignment. That's really all I'm saying is it's a tough ask for a guy to do that now in he's in year 3, right, Jason? Am I not mistaken on that?
Yes. Yeah. He's a third-year player. I think his first year, he didn't get credit for his rookie year because he wasn't on a roster. I will say this, and then we'll take a break and spend some more time with Brian. I have never seen a player in all my time. I've seen guys change positions. I've never seen a guy take reps with the number one offense and the number one defense in the same drill. Maybe Charles Woodson did that at some point in an in-season practice that I wasn't allowed to watch.
He didn't.
But I had never seen that until yesterday. And even Tucker
covering
Kraft
himself? What are you talking about? You can't be at both places at one time.
Right. He took a snap at wide receiver, and then the next snap he took a snap at corner. They finally got him a green penny, so he wasn't the only
Is it penny or penny?
Penny? Penny.
Penny. No, I think
Penny.
it's penny.
I think it's penny.
Blue, is it penny or penny?
Penny.
Penny. Yeah. What are you talking about?
It's penny. It's penny.
Okay.
Look it
I
up.
always thought it was penny like the pasta.
I thought it was penny.
Penny, like the coin that's going out of business. But the bottom line is, it's not to sit here and ask. He's not going to play Verona High School. Like this isn't a high
Love
school.
the
You're
Wildcats,
just
though. Good
such
team.
a freaky athlete that you can go do it. You're not. It's to expect him to be a number 2 or 3 corner when he's never really played corner, probably since high school. It's absurd to ask him to do that. These are pros, and pros spend hours on hours on hours doing it. That doesn't mean he can't get there, but it is a long road to do that, especially for somebody that has not done it at the pro level. Or, correct me if I'm wrong, I do not know his college career like you do. If he didn't do it in college either, you're looking at 7 or 8 years where he has not gotten in a back pedal and flipped his hips. And that to me is you're insulting the position if you think that he can do that quickly.
I'm hoping we'll talk to Bo today. There is no indication that he ever played it at Rutgers.
Corner play. Bo knows corner
It's
play.
almost like you read my story on channel3000.com as I dropped the Bo Jackson reference in the headline as well. More with Bryan Bulaga, who, like Bo Melton, can do it all. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Bryan Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Surfside. Surfside iced tea and vodka and Surfside lemonade and vodka. It's light, refreshing, and has 0 bubbles. It's perfect for a day on the golf course or a day at American Family Field. Cheers to Surfside.
Mark Tauscher here, encouraging you to save money and help save the planet by making an energy switch to Everlight Solar. Summer is here, and for many of us, that means more activities, more vacations, more time with our kids, and more money being spent on all of those things. So I know, like me, you're looking to save a few bucks. Why not save money and help save the planet by making an energy switch to Everlight Solar? Our family made the switch to solar, and we love it. But at first, we weren't quite sure where to even start. That's when we met the great team over at Everlight Solar. From the very first conversation, they educated us on the benefits of solar while also helping keep the process simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Time to prove it. Luke Fickell's third year with Wisconsin, a big one. The air raid attempt failing the first 2 seasons. ESPN's Adam Rittenberg cautiously optimistic for new OC Jeff Grimes to adopt Bucky's traditional ways. More during his appearance on ESPN Madison's The Jump Around.
It's one of the more beautiful things to watch as a fan because you can just physically dominate an opponent. Wisconsin's done that, and there's really nothing that the defenses can do about it. And I think that's what you want to see is a team that can run the ball and be in favorable down and distance and score the ball in the red zone and really kind of take the will of their opponent.
What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Pella has a product line for every budget.
No interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
The Thunder respond and tie the Pacers at 1. Now the series shifts to Indianapolis. Game 3 of the Pacers and Thunder. Coverage begins today at 7:30 Eastern. With tip-off at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Indeed.
Siding Unlimited recently installed 20 brand new amazing energy efficient windows. Our Siding Unlimited crew removed the old windows, inspected the wall for wood rot, installed the new beautiful windows, and cleaned up behind ourselves. It was easy to get started. The homeowner met us at our amazing showroom on 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. Trust me, our showroom is a must-see. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on June 17th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in June 17th at 7:05 on WISC TV in Madison, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
If you're considering solar energy, Sweeta Metal Roofing and solar panels go hand in hand.
Solar panels install effortlessly over metal, and it enhances the efficiency of your solar energy.
Before you go solar,
install a Sweeta Metal roof.
I'm Mike.
And Mary Sweeta. Enjoy the long-lasting architectural strength and beauty of a Sweeta Metal roof.
SWITA metalroofing.com.
Sweeta Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know.
Continuing with Bryan Bulaga.
Big city we're in.
I want to remind you before I head over to Lambeau Field that, as I always tell you, I hope you never suffer an injury, but if you do, and you need legal representation, there's one call to make. One call, that's all. Gruber Law Offices, 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666, or go to the website gruber-law.com. I am not going to call David for representation on these two football players who I would never tell how to set in a pass set what words are words and what words aren't words when it comes to a penny.
Now we're gonna trust Wikipedia for everything. Okay,
it's not. Why can't you trust me?
Good luck.
I trust you when it comes to football. Why can't you trust me when it comes to words? That's my milieu.
I want you to question me, so I have no problem being questioned. In this case, we called them pennies and we played.
I'm not.
You can call them pennies. That's a soccer term. That's not a football term. Truth.
Neither.
Yo, grab that penny, dough. All right, we'll do it.
Just because you said the wrong word doesn't make it then the right word. But
I didn't say that. Okay, I'm not going to get into the milieu with you. Blue, what do you think of Elton Jenkins' decision to come up and not do anything? I think it's exactly what he should do. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's the right move. Like, I think it's the... Like, we talked about it last week. Like, you know, you and I, we kind of went through the... what did we do? Kind of... We acted it out a little bit.
And Jason, like, is blanking on my role play, and then I told him to go ahead and do it, and then he's, oh, stop pouting. That was like a little quick synopsis of what happened.
That's exactly
we walked.
I was wearing a penny,
but he never critiques anything I do. Okay. You want to role play?
Yeah,
again?
we walk.
Hey, Brian, what do you think, man? I'm going to go up to camp. I'm not going to do jack. What do you think about that move?
I think it's I think it's what he should have done, right? Like, he's showing that he does want to be there. He wants to be around the team. He's under contract. I mean, so that's obviously one thing, and he's honoring that part of the deal. Obviously, he does not want to be fined. He's missing out on a hefty workout bonus. So if he were to miss
104K, he would be getting fined $104K.
Yeah,
if
so
he
like
hadn't
that would
shown up.
If he
yes, if he hadn't. So that would bring the total up to $604K of money missed out on or lost, which is a lot of money in an off season to lose, right? Like, to call it what you want. Like, I'm sorry, that's a bad off season to me. Like, that sounds like a bad couple months, no matter what you think of the market going on right now. So I think it's a good move by him. And you know what? I think for him, with whatever negotiations are going on, if there are any negotiations going on, if there's any talks going on, I think it shows good faith by him showing up and at least being there, right? Showing that he's willing to be there with the team and show up and be present. Like, I think that's a good thing. And I hope the Packers see it that way too. I really do. I mean, and obviously for his teammates too, they see that he wants to be there as well. And he's engaging with them and being around them. So I think smart decision by him.
I am curious, though, what you see as, and then I want to get into the fact that we finally saw Jordan Morgan start out with the number one offensive line at left tackle yesterday. I had not, now that could have happened in other OTA practices we didn't attend, but he got the first rep there yesterday for the first time that I've seen him. But before that, do you believe, because we're talking about this cap space, right? They have $46 million. They have now decided to take on, it's like the reverse post-June 1 cut. They would like to post-date the release of Jair to back in time so they're going to take on all of the dead cap money like they did with Rodgers when they traded him. So and even when they do that, that's $17 million, I think, in cap space that they'll lose. So they'll go from 46 to 29 for this year. But they still have plenty of room to do something with Elgton Jenkins' contract. My question for you is, he's got 2 years left in it. I think they like the idea of, if, despite Goody saying that he could be an all-pro center, this doesn't pan out, he's got this big number in 2026, and they could say, a Deuces B, we'll play Jacob Monk there, or we'll move Zach Tom there. So I'm a little concerned, and again, recognizing our bias, all three of us are big Elgton Jenkins guys. We all think he's a really good player. We think he's a good dude. We think he belongs. He's a good leader in that locker room. He's got all the things that you want. Is it possible they'll say, hey, you're not going to get anything close to what you're asking for. We'll throw you a small little milk bone, not like a big T-bone, and we'll do a little adjustment, but not a lot? You've gone through the negotiation process with this team. It is not as if they just want to give out free money willy-nilly.
Yeah, no, they don't want to give out free money. But the thing is, like, with him, I don't think you're giving out free money with him.
Existing money.
You're actually going to save money by doing it.
Yeah,
money.
I think you're gonna save money, and like, the guy's playing. Right, like, I mean, he's got 2 years left in the deal. He is playing, and he's obviously going to be playing to earn another deal, because he's not like going to be done playing after this contract. He's still, I mean, obviously in Green Bay terms, he's old, but still around the league, he's still going to get another contract wherever it may be. So he's still playing for another deal. So like, he is motivated to continue to play. So it's not like you're giving something away. I mean, you rework that number next year, that cap hit next year, and you're able to figure that out. I mean, that's beneficial for every side, because, right? So now you get Elgton under center, being the center for Jordan Love for 2 years. That benefits the entire offensive line. You get that continuity with that group for 2 years. Jordan Love gets that benefit of having Elgton for 2 years. I mean, you can either figure out, do you need to draft a center, or is Monk the guy that you're going to replace, Elgton with in a couple years at center? And then you either stick with Elgton or you move on, which obviously I would imagine with his age at that point, they would probably move on. So I think it's beneficial that they just figure this out now, and then in 2 years, let the dust settle where it is. But like,
agreed.
I just don't,
I don't think, like, because the way Green Bay's always done things, I understand, like, what this holdup is. And Homer keeps telling me the same thing, too. He's like, they don't have to do anything. This is just the way they've always done it. And I'm like, well, I get it, but they always don't switch guys' positions when they're almost 30. Like, that's
tell Homer
that's just not what they do.
Yeah, it's not 1985 anymore, dude. It's over. Like, we have all this leverage. It is a different world now. I think had Elton played poorly last year and they were going to keep him there, that's a whole different story. They want to work this out. They need to work this out, and I think they will work this out prior to July 23rd or 24th, whatever day they report. It's going to get done, and I think it'll get done where both sides feel okay. Neither side feels awesome, would be my guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's accurate.
All right, Brian, last thing for you. As I mentioned, Jordan Morgan getting the first team reps at left tackle yesterday. Scotty Wells, your former teammate, both of your former teammates, the former center was there, got to catch up with him a little bit. He, as Tausch mentioned yesterday when I saw him, he does stuff for the NFLPA. I believe, and I don't know this for certain because I didn't ask him, I believe he's there to make sure there's not too much contact, like a Jeff Saturday type of deal. And Matt LaFleur seems, dare I say, paranoid about there being too much contact and getting in trouble with the league and the NFLPA. So with all that said, these are obviously not padded practices or one-on-ones that Domofsky and Huber are keeping the stats on. But is there some significance to him not just being with the ones, because he's been with the ones before, but Jordan Morgan actually being the first one with the ones at left tackle, or is that just, hey, it was his day?
I've never, I mean, and maybe it's been this, maybe Tausch had this, maybe, Campy was never this way, and maybe it was like this way for Tausch when he first kind of like, I've never had an O-line coach that said, it's your day today to be with the ones. It was never that way for us. Like, right? Like, if there was a competition, Campy was never like, hey, if there was a competition battle, it's your day today. You go ahead for it. It was whoever was in the driver's seat of that competition went out with the ones. That's the way it goes. Now, obviously, Butkus and Steno and Matt can run this competition the way they want to do it, right? They can do whatever they want to do. They can drive it in any direction they want and go with whoever they want to start the drills with that. I get it. But normally you don't just put guys out there for, handouts. Like, you don't start someone out there just because it's their turn. Like, it doesn't happen that way. It's not Pop Warner. This is the NFL. Guys earn things or they're performing a certain way. Like that, it's just the way it is. So, is it like the biggest story in the world? Probably not. I think what I'll take as much bigger is when we roll out there in training camp day one, what it looks like, right? Sure. If it's like that in training camp day one, then I'll be like, well, I guess those last minicamp days did mean something. I guess that was a sign. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that we should have been paying attention to that more. But to me, it shows that they like what he's been doing in the OTAs that you guys haven't been able to see. And obviously, what's been leading up to the minicamp. So it shows something, obviously. And it's not that he's underperforming. We'll just put it that way. Right. It's not that he's underperforming.
And look,
they want Jordan Morgan to be the starting left tackle. The front office does, and I think they're going to get some pushback because Rasheed Walker's played pretty good football. But let's not kid ourselves here. First-round picks get more opportunities than seventh-round picks and undrafted free agents. That is the reality. That's the economics of it. It is what it is. So Rasheed Walker is going to have to outplay Jordan Morgan to keep his job. Period, fin. And Jordan Morgan's got to stay healthy. They're not going to hand him that job. But I would bet they are angling and hoping that this goes a certain way and that Sheed still plays good football and could be a backup on both sides. I would bet I would not count, and that's why I was so shocked last offseason or last training camp when 2 days in, it's like, Sheed's up, he's going to right guard. Huh.
Yeah.
That was odd to me.
Yeah, look, we'll see what happens. I'll be out there. Hopefully they'll run some 11-on-11 before the show ends, and we'll see. Maybe today's Sheed's day. Maybe they are rotating days, right? I have not seen 2 consecutive days of practice yet this offseason. I've seen 2 OTAs separated by a week. So I will report back. Brian, I'll text you since you'll be off the show by then.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know what happens. But I am intrigued, and you're right. It doesn't really, really, really matter until we get to July 22nd. Brian, thanks, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
That is the great Bryan Bulaga. He lends his insights every Wednesday, and every day of the week, it seems. Tausch tells us about his love of Coors Light.
Oh, and you're at a ballpark. It's a beautiful sunny day. You know what's great? Sitting back and cracking open a silver bullet, a Coors Light, and making sure those mountains on that wide mouth 16-ounce bottle are blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. When I'm at a game, if I'm tailgate, whatever it may be, it will always be Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company at Golden, Colorado.
Jesse and Tausch are going to kick off the 10 o'clock hour. I'm going to head to Ray Nitschke Field. They'll play some trivia as well in the 10 o'clock hour. That's still ahead, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Bryan Bulaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
How's it going, Madison? This is Chrissy Birdsall with your Sports Center update, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Green Bay Packers continue day 2 of mandatory minicamp this morning, and all eyes are on the cornerbacks as the Packers release 2-time Pro Bowler Jaire Alexander from the team on Monday. Yesterday, the green and gold moving wide receiver Bo Melton to the defense to take reps with the cornerback group. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur met with the media yesterday to talk about the current state of the cornerback room.
They look pretty good, so and they've played a lot of ball, so and they've done well in games, so I feel really good about it.
Reactions, news, and analysis from day 2 of minicamp continues today with Wilde and Tausch till noon and Jim Matt and Molly following the conclusion of the Brewers right here on 100.5 ESPN and the new ESPN Wisconsin app. On to baseball, the Brewers get a bounce-back win over the Atlanta Braves 4-1 last night, courtesy of home runs from Jackson Chourio and Jake Bowers. They face off in a rubber match tonight. Chad Patrick is on the mound for first pitch at 1:10 p.m. with pregame coverage starting at 12:30 right here on Madison's home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Live from American Family Field, where the Brewers are getting set to take on the Atlanta Braves in a Wednesday matinee. 1:10 first pitch this afternoon. Jesse Nelson and Mark Tauscher for the time being on Wilde and Tausch. Jason Wilde on his way over to Packers minicamp practice number 2, where he will share insights and observations from Titletown coming up at the bottom of this hour. Tausch, I'll admit I was away from the headset while Bryan Bulaga was on for a good portion of his time. I was putting together a cool video that you will have from our ESPN Wisconsin social media platforms. I did a little tour of the broadcast booth here for everybody when I got in this morning, part of when I got early.
Yeah.
So I did a little tour of the stadium and the broadcast booth for everybody to see. So we had some fun with that. So I was finishing putting that together. Interesting stuff from Bryan Bulaga, as always, from what I did hear.
What did you hear?
The offensive line conversation is always interesting.
How much do
when you
people
guys
care
get into
about
that.
the offensive line conversation?
More than I think we think. I think, obviously the skill position players, the casual fan is going to know the fantasy guys.
Yes.
So quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, kicker.
Okay.
I think defense. You kind of look at the defense as a unit, or at least by position. You say the secondary, the linebackers, the line, the front seven, whatever. Offensive line is definitely the one that gets it. It's the least sexy that fans care about, but we know it's the most important. The closer you are to the ball when it's being snapped, I think the more important you are for the success of your team. And the Packers' offensive line this year, ultimately, I think the question I have is just, do we believe in that unit this year? Because it seems like every offseason there's the question of, we're replacing somebody. This guy doesn't have as much experience. Is it going to work? Is this going to be okay? Are we going to pay this guy? And every year it ends up being totally fine. Like, I can't remember the last time the offensive line was actually struggling for the Packers. I think it was about a decade ago, and it was a season that there wasn't a very good playoff run. Every other time, the offensive line feels like it's the least of our concerns when we get to November, December, except for Philadelphia in the playoffs last year.
Well, I think we look at it and say, if you don't give up sacks and you run the football pretty effectively, you feel pretty good about it. And I think fans look at it and say, well, Green Bay ran it good. Josh Jacobs had a great season. And Jordan Love only got sacked 17 times. That's pretty good. And you can evaluate it that way and say, all right, well, and I think a lot of us that aren't in there breaking down film and watching every little nuance probably like, okay, well, and I think we all realized that Josh Myers was going to be, really before last season started, we thought that was going to be it for him, and that was indeed the case. But I just keep coming back to what Brian Gutekunst did and not said. And what Brian Gutekunst did was revamp and try and change some things around with this offensive line. So that was obviously something they felt needed to improve. We don't know. I think Elton Jenkins at center is going to be an upgrade. Elton Jenkins is, and you pay Banksy big bucks to come in. You're expecting him to be physical and expecting him to be a bell cow on that offensive line. And then you don't know what you have at left tackle yet, and as we just spoke on, because I think they want Jordan Morgan to be the starting left tackle. They have no idea if he can play starting left tackle in the NFL. We hope, and he has the skill set to do it, but it takes time to kind of figure out how you go about your business, and he unfortunately missed so much time last year. So I think that position grouping is going to be the focal point. While everybody's going to be watching Golden and Savion Williams and all of the young wide receivers, this needs to sort itself out. And with limited padded practices, and you have those joint practices, I would think that is the mission. That's going to be the top thing for this offense to figure out and get solidified as soon as they can.
One of the YouTube dwellers, I'll have to go back and see which one it is here, but somebody asked a question here, and this is totally pivoting from the offensive line conversation. But as we get set for Jason to share his insights and observations while the Packers take part in mandatory minicamp practice number 2 in Green Bay coming up here at 10:30, is Javon Bullard hurt? Why don't they try him at corner? If we assume the starting safeties will be Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams, is Javon Bullard, as a former first-round pick, good enough to try and slide over there instead of the Bo Melton experience that they're trying here during minicamp?
Bo Melton's not going to be playing starting corner or slot at this point. Javon Bullard will get opportunities. What you want to have happen is you want to get your crew. You want to have your preferred starters out there, and then you want to see who can add to that mix, who, if anybody, is vulnerable and maybe not where you want them. I think the spots that you feel are locked up are Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams. I think both of those guys. And then that Hobbs, even though we haven't watched a ton of him, he is going to be out there playing. Keyshawn Nixon will be out there playing. Valentine will be out there, but we don't know what roles they're going to be in yet. I would venture to say, and I think if I was a betting man, I know everybody has got Keyshawn as kind of the guy. I think they want Valentine to emerge and be the guy. I think they want him as their number one corner for the majority of the season. Keyshawn can hold on to that spot, but I just get the hunch they're going to want Valentine to be the guy when push comes to shove.
This picture of you giving Prince Fielder advice looks extra good when we've got our single
That is a good
shot up
shot,
here
man.
on our video stream on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. Check it out if you haven't yet. By the way, we are here at American Family Field, 1:10 first pitch for the Brewers and Braves. I did see, Tausch, that during one of our commercial breaks, you were handed a little gift, a leftover that they must have stored away just for you because it was a hot commodity. The greatest giveaway of all time at American Family Field.
I think we could make the case, and I am a huge cribbage fan. I might even go over pregame and go get a game if Levo is playing or I think Vinny Rattino. I am all in on cribbage. It's not as good as Sheephead, but it's a better game than euchre. The best giveaway I think the Milwaukee Brewers have ever had. I think the Giannis baseball jerseys that I know 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee has given out are dynamite too. I think the WTMJ cribbage board is the best because it's practical, it's a great souvenir, and it's useful. It's got the numbers on it, so you don't have to sit there and say, where are we at? Okay.
That's a good giveaway.
It's a great little giveaway, and I'm very happy to have one.
It can only be rivaled by the other thing you won this week, whether it was legitimate or not, the Vortex swag bag featuring a rangefinder, which is what we are giving away in Wilde and Tausch trivia on Friday. For the final time, we'll have a rangefinder to give away. The swag bag will continue from our friends at Vortex Golf, but this is the last rangefinder we have available. So, caller number 9 right now at 844 770-3776. Caller number 9 for Wilde and Tausch trivia presented by Vortex Golf is coming up next. Caller 9, 844-770-3776. Chrissy Birdsall, our producer today in the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison, is standing by. It is Wisconsin Geography Wednesday, presented by Down South Terry in Pleasant Prairie. At the AmFam.
Down South Terry from Pleasant
So you may recall at the AmFam Championship, a lot of fans of the show stopped by and said hi when we were right outside the entrance on Friday. Kevin in Pleasant Prairie and his wife Terry stopped by, and Terry said, I've got trivia questions for you, and she sent them in. So Terry in Pleasant Prairie, Down South Terry in Pleasant Prairie, presents today's Wisconsin Geography Wednesday questions. Caller 9 right now, your chance to win a Vortex swag bag and rangefinder, 844-770-3776. We will play Wilde and Tausch trivia presented by Vortex Golf coming up next after Tausch tells us about Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where our summer tour will take us next Wednesday.
We'll have to figure out who's driving. I'm excited. I'll drive. The new Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Heading down there again. We love it. I am going to, the Wilde and Tausch show is going to make a very interesting play down there next week because they have over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, including more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, a sports book, a rock shop. They got it all. They also, I think Bradshaw's going to be down. They got a big show coming up in the end of June. Hard Rock Casino Rockford also showcases museum-worthy collection of more than 500 pieces of authentic music memorabilia. Items from artists like Prince and Cheap Trick, Eddie Vedder, the Blues Brothers, and Taylor Swift. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
Wilde and Tausch trivia presented by Vortex Golf. Coming up next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member-first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on June 17th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in June 17th at 7:05 on WISC TV in Madison, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973, and they're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether it's the sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none and has exactly what you're looking for. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and check out the all-new 2024 Honda Prologue, Honda's first all-electric SUV, or browse their selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
You love choices.
Like your choices with a Sweeto metal roof.
Choose standing seam or high-profile steel shingles that come in a variety of styles that last a lifetime.
Put a Sweeto metal roof on and take the worry off with choices.
I'm Mike.
And Mary Sweeto. Enjoy the long-lasting architectural strength and beauty of a Sweeto metal roof.
SWITA metalroofing.com.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh from Mr. Irrelevant, and we are hitting the road. Friday, June 13th, spooky. We're heading to Door County Distillery in Carlsville. If you're spending the weekend in Door County, come check out Door County Distillery and hang out with us from noon until 2. That's Friday, June 13th at Door County Distillery in Carlsville. But even if you're not heading to Door County anytime soon, you can bring Door County to you with their cherry brandy for your old fashions infused with Door County cherries, whiskeys, rums, and plenty more. Check them out, DoorCountyDistillery.com.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. Over the past 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's top destination for player development and advancement, including over 468 college commitments and 27 MLB draft picks. Their facility in Windsor is the home of GRB Rays baseball and features over 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training. Tryouts for the 2026 summer season begin July 22nd. Find full training programs and register now at grbacademy.com.
Morgan Wallen Live. I'm the Problem Tour 2025. Historic 2 consecutive shows at Camp Randall Stadium, Saturday, June 28th, and second show added June 29th with Miranda Lambert and Ella Langley. On sale now at uwbadgers.com.
I'ma need some whiskey glasses.
Morgan Wallen, Live 2025.
The Thunder respond in tie the Pacers at 1. Now the series shifts to Indianapolis. Game 3 of the Pacers and Thunder. Coverage begins today at 7:30 Eastern, with tip-off at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Indeed.
Wilde and Tausch back with you. Jesse and Tausch for the time being as Jason Wilde goes to get situated in Green Bay in a place very near to where football is being practiced at mandatory minicamp. We're not technically allowed to say where he is. I think that's a rule he likes us to follow. So very nearby to football being practiced up in Titletown, where he will share his insights and observations as the Packers get set for day 2 of mandatory minicamp in Ashwaubenon. Speaking of Ashwaubenon, we'll see if it's one of the answers provided by Down South Terry in Pleasant Prairie.
So what happens if Down South Terry's husband is the contestant? Have we thought about that?
No. I guess we hadn't.
Okay.
We can check the official contest rules at ESPNWisconsinContest.com. I will personally say that I love when our fans provide questions. Number one, because it means less work for me. And number two, because especially when we hear the defense attorney from the trial I was part of last week and all the fans coming up to us at the AmFam Championship and anywhere else they run into us, one of their favorite things that we do is Wilde and Tausch trivia, and specifically Wisconsin Geography Wednesday. People absolutely love it.
And that one guy on YouTube that loves it too.
And the one guy on YouTube who always tunes out when we play trivia. So he gets a break, just like Jason, and he'll join us next segment for Packers minicamp observations. But first, it is time to play Wilde and Tausch trivia presented by Vortex Golf. We welcome in today's trivia contestant. It's our old friend who I do not owe a meal to at this juncture, Mike the Wedding DJ. Mike, welcome back to Wilde and Tausch. How you been?
I've been well. I wish I'd been able to call closer to the trial you were on, because I had a piece of advice. I was on a trial over 30 years ago, the only one, first time I went through jury duty, and I was told if you get picked, that if you never want to get called for jury duty again, volunteer to be the foreman. I did. I was picked as the foreman. Thanks to me, the person was convicted, and I have never been called again. Not even to come in, not even a call to check. Never heard from the court system again.
Wow. And you think it's because you were the foreperson that you haven't been called back?
I believe so. I was told by somebody that I knew in the legal field that, hey, if you get picked on the jury and you don't want to do this ever again, volunteer to be the foreperson. And if you get picked, chances are you'll never get picked again.
Mike, I don't want to call you a liar, but I'm going to call you a liar because
No, I am not lying. I've never been called again. Never.
Okay. Your experience, I believe you are telling the truth. However, the foreperson that we ended up selecting on our jury had previously been a foreperson twice. So this was this person's third time as a foreperson. So I don't like that narratively. I think that makes sense for you, but this person did it twice. 30 years go by, and then has the opportunity to do it a third time. So I don't. Maybe you're onto something. Yeah, my experience suggests otherwise. We can talk more about it next time I buy you dinner. How about that?
Ooh, sounds good. When are we going? All right.
I'm busy. All right, Wisconsin Geography Wednesday presented by Down South Terry in Pleasant Prairie. Tausch, I have not even handed you the questions.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to play.
I know you like playing along here with Mike the Wedding DJ. Question number one, Mike. Last week, our old pal Aaron Rodgers signed a one-year contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers. If Jason Wilde wants to drive to Pittsburgh to chat with his buddy ACR, from which of these Wisconsin burgs should he leave to drive the shortest distance to Pittsburgh? Oh, wow. Is it Fitchburg, Cedarburg, or YouTube Dwellersburg?
Well, obviously it's not C. Wow. Pittsburgh's obviously right near me in Middleton here, so I know where that is. I don't know exactly where Cedarburg is. So
remember, you're looking for the shortest distance to Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. So it's the one that's easternmost. God, let's see. 50-50 guess. I think Cedarburg kind of near the Milwaukee area, a little north. So I'm going to guess Cedarburg.
Cedarburg, after much deliberation.
That's a lot. Yeah, no wonder you're on. God, I don't know if I want to be on your jury if you're deliberating.
Longer deliberation than we had last week.
Cedarburg's going to be correct.
You are correct. Nicely done. Mike, you're on the board. Go a little faster with this next one, please. Question number
Jesse's
two.
Getting after you a little bit, telling you you're a liar and telling you to move it along.
I mean,
what kind of lunch did you guys have? Was it contentious?
Jason's over at Minicamp. He's got 5 interviews he could have done while you were figuring out question number one. Question two, Mike the Wedding DJ, latitudinally. Which of these Wisconsin cities is the farthest north? Farthest north latitudinally. Is it Waunakee, Wautoma or Wapaka?
So it's not Wanakee. That's my hometown. So it's between Wapaka and Wautoma. Oh, God.
Those are the two options.
There's a lot of, or I was hoping you'd say Wausau, because Wausau would have won. Okay, so it's between, and now I've confused myself, Wautoma and Wapaka?
That is correct.
Okay. I'm going to, oh, geez. I'm going to say Wapaka.
Jason just asked a full question to Matt LaFleur while you were trying to figure that one out. Tausch, do you agree?
I do.
And you are both correct. Wapaka is the furthest north of those three Wisconsin cities. Mike, you're a perfect 2 for 2, and I don't want to jinx anything, but it's Wednesday. We're going into question 3, and as of right now, in our final week, giving away a Vortex rangefinder as part of our prize pack this week from Vortex Golf, we have a perfect week in play.
Pretty good start, you know?
Question number 3, Mike the Wedding DJ. Longitudinally, which of these Wisconsin towns is the farthest west? Farthest west in the state of Wisconsin. Is it Mount Horeb, Mount Pleasant, or Mount Sterling?
Well, I know where Mount Horeb is. I know where Mount Pleasant is. So I am going to guess Mount Sterling since I have no idea where that is.
So you have no idea, so you're going to guess that one. Interesting play, Tausch.
I would have went the same road as he did.
Mount Sterling, as this is provided by Terry in Pleasant Prairie, is in Crawford County on the western border of the state of Wisconsin.
Let's go.
That is correct. Mike, you are a perfect 3 for 3, all 4 entries. Perfect week still going into Thursday in our final week of the Vortex Swag Bag and Rangefinder prize pack from our friends at Vortex Golf. Nicely done, Mike. It took a while, but we got there. Nicely done. Thanks for playing as always, buddy. Great to hear from you.
I guessed all 3. Guessed them all. Had no clue.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Thanks, Mike the Wedding DJ.
Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Love you.
Mike. There it is. Mike the Wedding DJ, our contestant today in Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by...
You definitely tell Mike likes the jabber. He
likes being in front of a microphone.
That's fun.
I can relate.
I know you can. That's probably why you two are such good buddies.
Yeah, and it's also why my time is done in front of the microphone. Jason Wilde will return coming up next, sharing his insights and observations from Green Bay as Packers minicamp practice number 2 gets underway up in Titletown. Whether you're in Mount Sterling, Ashwaubenon, Fitchburg, or anywhere in between, Tausch, there's a quick trip you can find.
I stopped at Quick Trip this morning. My son grabbed one. He likes those little croissant sandwiches with the
little breakfast
sausage.
sandwich. Yeah, those are good.
I just grabbed my normal Cafe Caruba. I didn't spill it, which was nice. And are you ready to climb to the top? Gear up for Quick Trip Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Every sip will get you closer to the summit. Now through August 17th, you play each day for free right in the Quick Rewards app and score bonus plays with every eligible item you grab, like an ice-cold Pepsi, Mountain Dew, hydrating Gatorade. You can get it $5,000. That's the cash prize every time, and it reaches the top prize of $250,000. So get climbing now in the Quick Rewards app. We also got a bunch of great deals going on. 99 cents a loaf for Quick Ripe Bread, 73% lean ground beef for $2.99. Simply hash browns shredded, $1.99. We get it. You're busy. Head on down to Quick Trip. Take advantage of everything Quick Trip has to offer, like rewards on every purchase in ordering ahead. Quick Trip, we will see ya next time.
Once again, thanks to Down South Terry in Pleasant Prairie. Solid trivia question.
That was good. Really good trivia
Terry.
questions.
She is welcome back to share more at any point, especially Wisconsin Geography Wednesdays. And Up North Joe gets his summer sabbatical to continue. Coming up next, Jason Wilde joins the show from Packers Minicamp, day number 2. We're at American Family Field getting set for Brewers-Braves. That's all straight ahead on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with an offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Sip into a flawless summer. Hey, it's KBN's Brad Nortman. Let carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails be your passport to pool parties, patio hangouts, cookouts, and pure summer bliss. Carbless is here to spark a summer of flavor and fun. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and of course, all the good vibes. From fruity flavors to refreshing fizz, Carbless stands out in a sea of same-old seltzers. See what flavors fit your summer. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and enter to win a flawless summer prize pack today.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Siding Unlimited recently installed 20 brand new amazing energy efficient windows. Our Siding Unlimited crew removed the old windows, inspected the wall for wood rot, installed the new beautiful windows, and cleaned up behind ourselves. It was easy to get started. The homeowner met us at our amazing showroom on 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. Trust me, our showroom is a must-see. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
This is Jim Rutledge from Jim, Matt, and Molly, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team for the 3rd year in a row. Help us win it all this year and vote every day this month at madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
He's got a Chevrolet that don't always run, and the radio never turns down.
That was some scintillating trivia that I listened to on my drive over. Who was that did those, Jesse?
Down South Terry in Pleasant Prairie provided the questions, and Mike the Wedding DJ provided even longer answers.
Yes, I felt a little contentious at points there with you guys are supposed to be friends. You were kind of getting after him.
Jesse didn't like he was getting so much shine on air, I don't think. Jesse's like, this is my segment. I'm running the show here. This is for me, not for you. And it did feel like there was, a little rope twisting between the two of them.
Our
Tug
friend,
of war, if you will.
Our buddy Jeff Levering from the Brewers Radio Network and, at the TV network, FanDuel Sports Wisconsin, but he's going to be returning to radio, we hear, coming up for the next series with the Cardinals. He stopped by. I was trying to put on a good show for my buddy Jeff, and Mike the Wedding DJ took my airtime.
He was trying to show off, is what he was doing. I don't know how it went.
Do you think being unpleasant to avid listeners to the show is a good way to show off for Jeff Levering? That would be my only question.
Mike's a tier 1 of ours. He's in it for the long haul. Yeah, Mike gets it.
Okay.
Yeah, we had dinner.
He's going to listen no matter what. Yeah, you did. Doesn't sound like that'll be happening again. All right. The stretch period is over, and the Packers have taken to Ray Nitschke Field, whacking some tackling dummies over there, hitting the bags, the sled. So we are underway here in Green Bay. Tausch, I enjoyed our conversation with Bulaga. He's a little more pessimistic on Bo Melton's move or additional responsibilities than maybe we are. Is there something that you're pessimistic about? Like, we talked about the corner group, right? Yesterday, they went with those top 3 at that position, and we talked about the depth. If there's anywhere that you're pessimistic or skeptical of, off the top of your head, what is it?
Yeah, pass rush. I think that, for as much as you can hope that guys will develop, Rashawn Gary is Rashawn Gary. Kenny Clark was obviously dinged up. He's getting older. Devontae Wyatt needs to have that contract year.
Mm-hmm.
Because that, to me, if this group isn't better against the big boys, I thought they were fine against, beat up offensive lines, and they did some good things last year too. I think a lot of times we just say things, and it's like the stats would tell you that they got after the quarterback in some games. But the big boy games against the big boy teams that end up being around in January, that was not the case, and we need to see more one-on-one winners. So I don't care who that's going to be. If it's Enigbare, if it's Van Ness, if it's Brenton Cox, it doesn't matter to me who elevates. Someone needs to elevate. And there's a couple of young guys that got brought in that are mid-round picks, good stories. Someone needs to elevate in that group, because I think for as much as we've talked about the defensive backfield and not having a one, and I think Xavier McKinney in that group is going to be just fine if that pass rush improves. And if you want to be pessimistic and you want to question Brian Gutekunst, you can ask a simple question. Say, did you do anything to improve that part of this game? And other than letting young guys develop and grow into more of a, into a bigger role, it's tough for me to answer that question with a resounding yes. So that, to me, if I want to be negative, and I'm not sure why I need to be negative, but since you asked, that's where I would go.
Well, I don't think it's negative. I think it's healthy skepticism, right? Because one of the storylines of the offseason thus far has been the fact that they changed defensive line coaches. And it was interesting, you and I both really like Kenny Clark. One of the reasons why is because he is well, no, I mean, that's true too. But when he is on our show, he is unfailingly honest.
Yep.
And when he was asked about Jason Rebrovich, I have not seen a player punt on a question as quickly as he did in quite a while. And I don't know all the details there, but I think the question was phrased in some way of, when your position coach loses his job, do you guys as players feel some measure of responsibility for not playing better and causing him to be fired? And Kenny Clark was not going to get involved in that discussion at all. And I thought it was really, he said, I'm not even answering that question.
Did you ask him why he didn't want to answer the question?
Well, no, it was one of these awkward, enormous groups because we don't have locker room access this offseason. But I can tell you what I think it is.
Oh, what is it?
I don't think those guys thought Jason Rebrovich was helping them get better. That's what I think. Okay. And you know, I am curious because you obviously have loved your offensive line coaches, whether it was Larry Bechtel, whether it was Joe Philbin, whether it was Campy. But when can a change in the position coach change the trajectory of that position in a significant way? Because there have been rave reviews about DeMarcus Covington. He's been a coordinator in the league. He's doing a bunch of different drills that you know what it reminds me of was when Luke Getsy took over as the wide receivers coach and they're catching tennis balls and dropping bricks that they're catching to work on their reaction and their hand strength. Like he's kind of doing the same thing with those defensive linemen of, you know, he's got a broomstick across the arms of the tackling dummy to remind them to get low. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. And so I would be curious, can that have a meaningful impact on a group to just change the guy that's coaching the position?
It can. I think the players need to be more, you know, on the self-motivating side of it. But there is no doubt, I think players are always looking for an edge. And to me, it was more about film study and bringing things from tape to practice. The skill set, it's about fundamentals for offensive linemen. I think defensive linemen, there's different techniques. For us, it's get your hands inside, move your feet, position yourself properly, and then, you know, setting anchors. And there's, you know, only so many drills that you can do. But there's punch and pass. There's things that I think you know translate to the games, and you appreciate that. For these guys, it's about honing in and really doing maybe more of an individualized approach. It can't just be – offensive line can be more groupthink. It can be more KBN if you're looking for it that way. Whereas from a defensive side of the ball – everybody's got different skill sets. Bryce Paup joined us a couple weeks ago, and I think he gave some really good insights into you can't just say, well, here you just club the guy. That's okay, great. How do you set it up? How do you go about it? And can I do it? Is that in my bag of skills? So I think studying the guys and understanding it and then having a counter off of a counter, that's what I think those guys are looking for because they know – you get paid by producing sacks and pressures. That's where these guys make their bread. And if you can help me do that, I am going to be a very willing listener.
If you were willingly listening earlier, you heard me say something to Bryan Bulaga about the left tackle situation. That conversation will not be going the way I intended it to. I'll explain coming up after Tausch tells us about American Family Insurance.
Well, just like a great team needs great protection up front, American Family Insurance knows your family needs it too, and that's why they made life better by protecting our dreams with the right home and auto policy. So insure carefully, dream fearlessly at American Family Insurance. We are at American Family Field down here for the Brewers today, and we're excited about that. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
Tell you what's going on at left tackle today, and we'll get ready to talk to our good friend Bill Schroeder next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
You Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Shop Steinhoffels and get a free foundation when you buy a Beauty Rest Black or world-class mattress. Queens start at $30 per month with Steinhoffels 60-month financing. Luke Fickell's third year with Wisconsin, a big one. The air raid attempt failing the first two seasons. ESPN's Anna Burtenberg cautiously optimistic for new OC Jeff Grimes to adopt Bucky's traditional ways. More during his appearance on ESPN Madison's The Jump Around.
It's one of the more beautiful things to watch as a fan because you can just physically dominate an opponent. Wisconsin's done that, and there's really nothing that the defenses can do about it. And I think that's what you want to see is a team that can run the ball and be in favorable down and distance and score the ball in the red zone and really kind of take the will of their opponent.
What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Pella has a product line for every budget.
No interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep and relaxation, IKEA's home furnishing combines form and function to fit any lifestyle and budget. Visit IKEA Oak Creek today or explore their collection online at ikea.com/US.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh from Mr. Irrelevant, and we are hitting the road. Friday, June 13th, spooky. We're heading to Door County Distillery in Carlsville. If you're spending the weekend in Door County, come check out Door County Distillery and hang out with us from noon until 2. That's Friday, June 13th at Door County Distillery in Carlsville. But even if you're not heading to Door County anytime soon, you can bring Door County to you with their cherry brandy for your old fashions infused with Door County cherries, whiskeys, rums, and plenty more. Check them out, doorcountydistillery.com.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. Over the past 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's top destination for player development and advancement, including over 468 college commitments and 27 MLB draft picks. Their facility in Windsor is the home of GRB Rays baseball and features over 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training. Tryouts for the 2026 summer season begin July 22nd. Find full training programs and register now at grbacademy.com.
The ESPN Madison Open, presented by Coors Light, is back. On Monday, August 4th, the ESPN Madison crew is packing up our bags and teeing off at TPC, Wisconsin for a day on the links. This year's Open is benefiting Mentoring Positives, a nonprofit based right here in Madison, dedicated to uplifting youth and families through mentoring, athletics, and youth entrepreneurship. The ESPN Madison Open, also brought to you by Carbless, Zimbrick Honda, Siding Unlimited, Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, Clear Vision Pro Wash, and Vortex Optics.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
We'll talk to our good buddy, The Rock, Bill Schroeder, not to be confused with The Rock, Larry McCarron, who is keeping a watchful eye over the Packers' offensive line drill work, which does not include today Rasheed Walker. So, Tausch, if they were rotating day by day, and today was going to be Rasheed's day, it is not Rasheed's day. He's working the ropes, swing them up and down. So
is he not healthy, or is he?
Well, he practiced. Yeah, he's. Well, no one's in pads, right? Because it's minicamp. But he is not in a helmet. He has his jersey on.
So he's rehab.
So he's in the rehab group, yes, sir.
Okay.
Along with Zane Anderson and a number of others. So I don't know if he tweaked something yesterday. Elton Jenkins riding a stationary bike on the sideline as well. So they're finishing up.
Tour de France is coming up. I think that starts after the 4th of July. So
indeed,
Elton's going to keep working.
So So I was hoping we might get some insight into how they were breaking up snaps during the mandatory minicamp at left tackle. Well, that scuttles that plan. So, and no, I don't think, just so people don't think we're implying anything here, I don't think he was unhappy that he didn't work with the ones. So today he's feeling some general soreness and isn't participating. But again, I guess I can't say that for certain, but I find that very unlikely for a guy who's competing to keep his starting job. So we will continue from minicamp, but we will interrupt our Packers conversation with Bill Schroeder from the Brewers Television Network. We'll talk to him to kick off the 11 o'clock hour, which will happen in 2 minutes with Tausch and Jesse live from AmFam Field. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
How's it going, Madison? This is Chrissy Birdsall with your Sports Center update, brought to you by Celebrations Entertainment. Complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more. Go to celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. The Green Bay Packers continuing day 2 of mandatory minicamp this morning, and all eyes are on the cornerbacks as the Packers released two-time Pro Bowler Jair Alexander from the team on Monday. Yesterday, the Green and Gold moving wide receiver Bo Melton to the defense to take reps with the quarterback group. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur met with the media yesterday to talk about the current state of the defense.
They look pretty good, so and they've played a lot of ball, so and they've done well. In games, so I feel really good about it.
Have to see if Bo Melton takes any more reps with the cornerbacks. Reaction news and analysis from day 2 of minicamp continues with today, Wilde and Tausch till noon, and Jim, Matt, and Molly following the conclusion of the Brewers game right here on 100.5 ESPN and the new ESPN Wisconsin app. The Brewers get a bounce-back win over the Atlanta Braves 4-1 last night. They'll be in a rubber match with the Braves again at 1:10 p.m. Pre-game coverage starting at 12:30 right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. Bill Schroeder working his way to the Mark Tauscher press box with all the photos and accoutrements. Do they have your favorite snacks too? Do they have protein muffins and everything else waiting for you there, or how did that work?
Did you say accoutrements? Is that what you said?
I did. It's a fun word to say.
No, there's no accoutrements up here. So
are there snacks?
I haven't looked. I got a cup of coffee, which is good.
Protein muffins. No cover on the coffee, I'm sure.
No cover on the coffee. No, I don't want all that plastic jumped in. But look at who we got here. The big dog.
Pat Murphy?
Great no, Pat. No, I'm not going to get into Pat Murphy. And we'll ask Rock if he thinks Jesse's criticism was approved of that. But we got the Rock. Jason. Rock, Old T, and Jesse. What could make for a better Wednesday afternoon than that?
Especially after a win yesterday.
Yep.
You call me the big guy? I mean, I'm kind of pale in
No,
comparison.
I don't mean like stature. I'm talking stature at AmFam Field.
Yeah,
not
okay.
Actual physical size.
Yeah, literally, I just got here today, so I was reminded, hey, you're still ready to come on, and I walked in, and
well, that's how Jesse books.
Now I'm ready to go. It's like,
hey, so what do you think? Look at this. We opened the show. We got our Wilde and Tausch welcome, and then take a look. I'm telling Prince, hey man,
fantasy camp.
No, this wasn't fantasy camp. This was down. I did some BP.
Okay,
doing some
bombs,
coaching.
which you're probably not.
Was
shocked.
Prince there that year when you were there?
At fantasy, he was not.
No, he was not. No.
How did fantasy camp go? Did Jason make it down? I know he promised he was going to make it.
No, he
didn't make
no.
it down.
I mean, are you going to?
My invitation got lost in the mail. Yeah.
I'm telling you, and I know everybody that has been down there knows. It is a great experience down there. You get to just be in the clubhouse and crack a beer or two after the run, and you get to hit, and it's a great event. I know you've been doing it for years.
Yeah, I mean, we had 95 last year.
Anybody any good?
18. Yeah, we had some pretty good talent.
Okay.
I mean, I started this, back in I think it was 2002, and we got the campers seem to be younger every single year, and the competition seems to be getting better. I'm not saying the competition is really good.
Sure.
But better.
Okay.
I don't think the Brewers are going to find any budding talent down there. Of course, you got to be 30 and over to come down, but it's a blast. It's kind of a good kickoff to the baseball season for a lot of us, the coaches. I have the same pretty much core group of coaches come down every year. We talk. We have what they call the fantasy camp group text chat.
Oh,
thing.
the text string. Oh,
Yeah.
I bet there's some doozies on that.
Yeah, I mean, we have some characters on that list, and it's a lot of fun. So,
who's the biggest character? Like, who is, if you're sitting there and you're telling people that want to come down and do it, this is who you need to sit down and have a beer with and tell stories? Who would that be?
Well, Greg Vaughn has always been one of my favorites.
Okay.
I mean, Greg Vaughn. I mean, he's been a fantasy camp coach for a long time. Now we have a lot of great. Guys, some personalities. We had Jeff Jenkins. So last year we started something, like second day of camp where the fantasy campers took their coaches out to dinner.
Okay.
All right. And, we're not talking about Ruth's Chris. I mean, we're talking about sports bar, wings, and stuff like that. But you know what Jeff Jenkins did? He lives in Phoenix. He had all of his guys come to his house. It was the night of the national championship game. So think about it. I mean, you're a fantasy camp guy. You come down and play baseball, and you have Jeff Jenkins invite you to his house with beers and food and all that kind of stuff.
Everybody's going to be signing up for Jeff's team.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, well, it was a draft, and, we can be bribed.
That's
that's
the least shocking thing that we've heard.
Slip us a couple of maybe golf rounds of golf.
Yeah.
Or, we're not looking for cash.
No, you're just a little
little
something.
barter system.
Yeah, just a
little
little
bit.
something. That's
yeah.
what makes the world go round.
Yeah. There's no free lunch.
Nothing. All right, Rock. Before Jason jumps in, what do you think so far? It's been an up and down season. We've had people on this show that have been saying
what are you looking at me for?
That have been saying, well, I don't know, maybe there should be conversations about the manager, but
it's not what was said.
With some of the injuries and some of the other stuff. What do you think so far? How this season has gone for the?
What? If you were to take this season and put it last year, I think everybody would have said, "Oh, it's a young team."
Yep. New manager.
You know how it goes,
Yep.
right? In football, you have guys, and you're trying to move trying to develop talent and getting guys used to it. These guys were all so good last year. All these young guys, every single one of them performed beautifully. But as I always try to remind people, whether it's on a radio show or here at the ballpark, doing TV, to be consistent year after year after year, whatever sport it is. I mean, that's the toughest thing. The toughest thing is not getting to the big leagues. The toughest thing is staying in the big leagues and making adjustments on what pitchers and organizations are doing to you when you come to the plate. And I think there's a little bit of growing pains right now with, some of these guys. I mean, Jackson Cheerio, 21 years old. I mean, can you imagine 21 years old doing what he's doing? I mean, this is his second season. I mean, this kid is unbelievable. And, Terang and Frelick and, a lot of the Joey's really starting to come into his own. But when you consider, the issues with the starting rotation and all the injuries that they have experienced, a lot of the veteran guys, These kids have come up and done a really good job. You know, the inconsistencies with wins and losses, you can't pin it on the pitching, and particularly the starters. These guys have been great, including this guy today, Chad Patrick. What a surprise he's been. And you know, I think that you just got to be patient. I mean, they're above 500. They're kind of hanging in there and
figuring it out.
You hope that, you know, you get a nice run at the end of the season. You can't win a division, or you can't get to the playoffs in the first couple of months. You can get yourself out of it. But you know, I think the Brewers are in a position where, you know, they get off to a good run. They recently won 8 straight, so they have it in them.
Mm-hmm.
Talking with Bill Schroeder, the legend of Wilde and Tausch and of Brewers Fantasy Camp, and of course of the Brewers Television Network. Bill, I am curious, and we need to address the elephant in the room, and it's not the pictures of Tausch on the walls. It is something that Jesse said a few weeks back, that since he did, things have really.
This sounds like a very tough question he's going to ask.
No, this is what he.
It's not for you.
It's not. Yeah, he likes greasing you up, and then.
Okay, well, yeah, he's the preamble to this question is making me nervous.
This is actually a very short preamble. Not even a truthful preamble.
Okay, here we go.
So Rock, Jesse Nelson, who's seated by you, was at a birthday party for one of our teammates, and suggested. And Jesse, I want to be fair to you because this was asinine, but I still don't want to paint you in a negative light. Yeah, suggested that the way things were going early in the season, it might be getting close to the time to have a conversation about the manager and the warmth of his seats. It was one of the, dare I say, most galactically.
So dumb. Now look at that look you're getting. Jesse,
that
is exactly what you said.
Is he embarrassing you?
It is, yes.
Yes.
Was this on the air that you were saying this?
I brought it up on the air.
He did say it on
Bill,
the air.
if may I, Jason? May I take it from here?
Jesse is in. Bill, just remember what I just did
His dad
was the
used to
absolute
usher,
God's
so we know.
honest truth, and Jesse's now going to try and lessen the blow of his asinine remarks. So please, Jesse, the floor is yours.
I'm going to turn the camera so I can be seen talking.
We're on camera?
My good friend Bill.
It's a
video stream. Worldwide.
You're a TV guy.
Were you going to tell me that? I mean, you know, I got to make sure. Is there anything in my nose? Or
You look good. You look real good.
My face looks red, and I can't tell if it's just now or if it's been that way all day. Okay, so
God.
here's the thing, Bill. We were at this birthday party. It was after the Saturday night loss to the Twins. It was kind of right in that stretch where things were not going well.
Yeah.
Couldn't score any runs. We're starting
right.
to give up a bunch. Everybody's unhealthy, and we're starting to not feel good. 4th place in the division. And the question that I asked was the criticism around the state for Luke Fickell, for Matt LaFleur, for Doc Rivers, and every Bucks coach that there's been thus far. Even Greg Gard game by game with the Badger basketball team.
Yeah.
There's always a conversation and an indictment of the coach or the manager every time something's not going very well. That conversation was never taking place for Pat Murphy, reigning manager of the year. Everybody loves the guy. And my question was, at any point, is there a conversation that would happen throughout the course of this year? That's all I was presenting was,
You're a better backpedaler than Bo.
He's backpedaling, and Rock. He also mentioned Ricky Weeks.
I say we all know he's going to be the guy when Pat decides to hang it up, whatever that may be. That's the way it looks like it's all set up. So that's all I was asking was, at what point do we ever have that kind of, obviously they've turned it around since. I like to think it was kind of the spark that the team needed to kind of get in the right direction.
Such a fraudulent description.
You can just
attack.
So who is it that is supposedly having this conversation?
That's another good question.
I asked the question about
Jesse asked the
when the conversation would be had.
Is it front office? Is it you guys? It sounds like you
it's
already
Jesse.
had it.
It's me.
No, it's
It's
Jesse.
me and my pals on a Saturday night with
Jesse.
Coors Lights in hand.
You know what? There's one thing that's for sure. When you're a head, if you're a head coach or you're a manager, I mean, you sign on for criticism.
For sure.
Right? I mean, Tausch, you know.
Yep.
When you're playing well, it's all about the players. When you're not playing well, it's the manager, it's the coach, it's the pitching coach, it's the hitting coach, it's all this kind of stuff. But then you win 8 in a row, and then everything's rosy.
He hasn't said a word
right?
since. Yeah.
8 in a row.
I've taken some credit, but that's all.
He didn't actually take credit for motivating them.
Did you apologize after the 8-game win?
Yeah, have you? I don't know.
I had nothing to apologize for because I never said anything. I was asserted otherwise.
I think Pat Murphy has been a breath of fresh air. Now, take nothing away from Craig Counsell. He was outstanding. I mean, he turned this organization around, but, Pat Murphy is not a Craig Counsell. He is completely different, and I think that's what motivated the guys last year. Not that Craig was doing anything wrong. It's just a different voice, a different approach. I think Murph uses his coaches a little differently than Craig Counsell did. And I think that the players, the fact that, Murph spent a lot of time coaching college kids gives him a foot up coaching all these young guys. I mean, he kind of can speak their language, right? And that's something that you really have to tip your hat to him for. But I don't think that the conversation will ever be had, at least this year. I mean, when you come off a season like he had last year, I mean, you're going to have growing pains with these young guys, and they are experiencing it. And it's the offense. The offense has been up and down. The pitching has been terrific. Even the guys that have been, coming up back and forth have been good. It's a very deep organization. I think Matt Arnold has done a great job stocking this organization with a lot of talent, and there's more coming up.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah. Is that
what do you know about
The Miz?
The Miz.
Is that official?
It says right here, Thursday starter.
All right. Well, I haven't seen the note yet.
Because you came straight to our show.
There you go.
I like that we're breaking news to Bill on the Brewers.
I'm always the last to know everything. My God. How about a phone call? Come on.
Did somebody give you a heads up?
I do know this. Mizorowski, big, tall, thin, right-handed. He throw 100 miles an hour. He can spin it a little bit. Whether, he bursts onto the scene and really takes hold in the major leagues, or is it going to be kind of a Corbin Burns type deal? I know that Corbin, when he came up, he was working in the bullpen, did a really good job there. They put him in a starting role, and he got blown up a little bit. Following year, he was outstanding. It takes
It's almost
guys,
like there's a little patience that is required.
Right. Well, you got it's kind of a mulligan, right? When a guy comes up for his first, 6 starts, if you
Or
you
20.
have a mulligan, do you golf?
Tausch had 13 on
Yeah,
Monday
we won
in
a championship. Charity outing. with Mulligan,
13 mulligans all in the first hole.
Got to start fast.
But I'm excited to see this kid, and it's going to be fun. And again, I think there's going to be a long list of players that the Brewers are developing that are still yet to come. You got some position players that they're high on, and anytime you can throw 100, look at Uribe. I mean, he struggled last year, right? But he comes back. He's throwing sliders for strikes. He's throwing 100 miles an hour. So I think Mizorowski, may struggle a little bit. I mean, the fourth deck here is a little bit overwhelming sometimes for guys. But what I've seen is, when these guys come to spring training, and I think, and Murph and I were talking about this yesterday, the culture in the clubhouses are such that, back in my day, back in the 70s, 80s, young players had to earn their keep in the clubhouse. I don't know how it was with the Packers and stuff.
You had to earn it, but there was a welcoming, like, we need you,
right.
And we're going to bring you along.
But you weren't afforded the same luxuries as some of the guys that have been around a while. That's different now. I mean, I think that the veteran guys they really take to the young guys. They make them feel comfortable when they come up. They don't feel as though they need to earn their space in the clubhouse. And I think that helps young guys coming up, particularly a guy like this kid Chad Patrick tonight. I mean, or today, he's been terrific. I mean, you can't ask for anything more out of him. He comes up because of all the injuries, and it's going to be tough not keeping him around for extended period of time. So I'm excited about the team. I mean, I knew that there was going to be ups and downs. I mean, with young players, you're going to have highs, you're going to have lows. You just got to stick with them.
I mean, unless you're the Dodgers, this is just how it's going to be, isn't
right?
It?
Yeah, and you can't. The Brewers and teams like the Brewers can't buy their way out of problems and buy their way out of injuries. They have to come up. They got to use the farm system. They got to pick guys in the off season that have had marginal careers, and they come over here and they figure it out. And I think the coaching has a lot to do with that here. So there you go. Enough about the Murph talk.
Yeah,
there was never any Murph talk.
Jason.
Jesse, okay, I'm not dignifying this any further.
I think we put that to bed.
Rock, two more for me though, and one does have to do with Murph a little bit and your playing days. But before that, Brandon Woodruff cannot seem to catch a break. He can catch a line drive off his elbow, but just when we thought he was going to be back, he gets that line drive hit off of him. What kind of a lift when he eventually avoids all, I don't know if there's locusts and frogs and all the other stuff coming at him next. But like, but once he's, that's a biblical reference.
No, I understand. I get it.
Like, well, how much of a lift will it be to get your ace back, especially with some of the young arms you just got done talking about? Like, what would it mean whenever it happens to get him back and on the field and on the bump?
As much as he has helped, in the clubhouse and in the dugout, it's different. We talked about this, on the air last night. It's different when you're on the injured list and you're not able to get out on the field. But when you're back on the field and you're making starts every 5 days and you have things to say, I think it's received. Not that nobody listens to you when you're hurt. They do, because you have to use the experience that Brandon Woodruff has had. He's had the highs and lows as well, and that's a big thing for a lot of these young guys. But having him come back, I think the expectation is going to be, it's going to take him a while to get it back. His velocity down in the minor leagues, 92.3, something like that. I think once he gets out on the big league mound, you got the decks, you got the 30, 40,000 people. I think that velocity is going to tick up a little bit. But I think it's going to help the pitching staff, but more importantly, it's going to get the Brewers back to a position where they're getting whole again, when all their guys are healthy, and that speaks volumes. You're not limping around anymore. You've got your guys back, and it's go time. If you hang around before the All-Star break, you make a run, get your guys healthy. You'll get Garrett Mitchell back, get Perk back, and and you get these starters, doing what they do. I think things are going to be good.
All right, last one for me. So you mentioned your playing days, and you also, when you were talking about what an idiot Jesse was, the breath of fresh air in some ways that Pat was when he took over, and not that was an indictment of Craig in any way, but it was just different, right? And so I watched again the other night the Just a Bit Outside documentary on the '82 Brewers.
Did you see it?
Oh, I did. So a couple
so
times.
good.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, and I feel bad, Rock, because you're such one of my favorite people, and yet your timing completely sucked.
Yeah,
you got there in '83.
I was the beginning of the demise, wasn't I?
No coincidence, though.
But everybody thinks that I was the guy that hit that home run in Boston, but that was Ned Yost. So I take credit for it. Though.
Always
I'll tell you what, man. I stayed back. Oh man, that was a great. It's like, yeah, you were number 5, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. I changed numbers the next year. Yeah. It's like,
that's great.
And suddenly had curly hair. Yes.
Yeah, right.
But one of the things, in listening to Gorman and Vukovic and Robin and Molitor and Gantner all talk about the impact that Harvey Keene had when he took over, that it was just, look, they had made the playoffs in the split season in '81 under Buck Rogers. It's not like Buck Rogers was a bad manager by any means, but it was different, right? And it was a good fit for that team. And what you're saying about Pat, it just resonated with me when you said it, because this is a young team and he has coached college. When he was on our show, I wish we could get him to come on once a week, because he was so much fun to talk about. He's got so many great stories.
It's all about the money, though. You want to pay him. I think you might convince him.
Well, and we probably shouldn't be calling for his job.
That would
3 weeks
probably
into
help.
a season, too. So
good thing we didn't.
You combine both things, it makes it tough, Rock.
Yeah, I know. You're behind the 8 ball. Anyway,
but my question is simply this: like, you obviously played for a lot of managers, you've been around all the different managers throughout the years. What is it, regardless of Jesse's comments, what is it that makes him really and truly different? Because you could argue that while Jesse's statement was crazy, things could have kept spiraling, right? And things could have gotten bad. And yet he made sure, he talked about grit, and they found a way out of it. So I'm just curious, your impressions of him now that you've been around him as long as you have.
I think the players respect him because he kind of feels like, and they feel like he's one of them. It's not like Murph is up here, the door's always open. Not that it wasn't like that with Craig, but Murph is one of those guys that he's very approachable. Anybody can approach Pat Murphy, whether it be somebody who's a security guard in the stands, or parking lot attendant, or I can have a very candid conversation with Murph, and he can be honest with me. Not that Craig was not like that, but it's just a different attitude. It's a little different. I mean, it's more fun. I mean, his pregame pressers are always fun. I mean, we're talking
a little more unscripted. I would say.
I mean, I got in there yesterday and he's talking about his son had the croup. The night before.
Got to get cold air in the lungs.
Yeah, right. And that went on for a while. And all the reporters were saying, "Yeah, I remember having that, and this and that." So he disarms people very easily, and he will give you honest answers. And it's one of those things where you feel really comfortable with him, and I think that's the way these players are. And again, I go back to what I said earlier: the fact that he spent so much time in the college game. ASU, Notre Dame. I mean, he coached Craig. Everybody knows all that. But, he has a way with young people. And it's not just athletes. It's young people in general. You see him when he's outside the ballpark. You see him when he's walking around town, whether we're in St. Louis or anywhere. I mean, he's a people person. He loves talking to people. And sometimes when you get with Murph, and you're around the batting cage, you ask him a question about, how's Yelich doing? He'll start talking about Yelich, and then he'll go off on some other tangent and, talk to you about something else. And he has a way of, having the conversation go the way he wants to go. So in deference to Jesse, I think his job is in really good shape.
Yeah, I think he is too. Who else's job is in pretty good spot? Did you watch the French Open with your partner?
You know what? I think I watched 2 volleys.
That's something. It's a heck of a match.
And that whole time,
Alcaraz, sinner.
Well, that the guy that won it was down 2 sets, right?
And 2 match points. And I can't wait to catch up with B on that because I'm a big tennis fan. But he's back tomorrow. I don't know. Did you know he's back tomorrow?
I know.
Breaking news again.
I know he's back, and that's the reason why I'm not on that series.
Well, and I was Jeff Levering was in here earlier, and he's a little nervous that he's going to start saying it's love after one. Yeah, and I think that's something that we all have to make sure we're concerned about after all that tennis talk.
Love is all we need is right. It's good to have BA back. I mean, he's been a great partner. I think it's his 14th year together with me, and but my games are kind of reduced this year. I'm at 60 games, and this is a series coming up that I'm not on. But I will be checking it out because BA is one of my favorite people. I mean, he's so good at what he does. Regardless of, I didn't even know he knew anything about tennis.
I don't know if he did.
I mean, he's sending me text messages with he and John McEnroe throwing a baseball back and forth, and BA.
He's got a pretty good gig going.
Yeah, BA of all people is giving McEnroe lessons on how to throw. I mean, really? Okay. But no, proud of him. He's a shining star. I mean, he deserves everything he gets. And although when he comes back, he's just one of the guys. He's got to understand whose ballpark this is.
Whose is it?
Well, I don't know. Well,
Jesse's.
Yeah,
I think it's been clear it's not mine.
although in the past I always called him part-time, but I can't do that anymore because that's kind of me. Yeah.
You learned it from watching him.
Oh, God.
It's really Levering's ballpark, come to think of it.
Levering and Grindle.
Are you getting into any of the cribbage with Levo and the boys?
I know how to play, but I'm not at the level of Levering and Ratino. So,
okay. Awesome.
I like the cribbage.
But it might be the best giveaway we've seen.
Yeah, right.
Everybody loved it, and the lines were out the door when it started. So, all right, Rock. Well, we appreciate you, man.
Great having you. Thanks for having me. You guys are the greatest.
Well, yeah, we love it when you join us, and if your price tag is lower than
you watched the movie.
I did. I watched I watched it 3 times. I got an advance copy, online, and I watched it, and it was amazing. Just seeing Harvey Keen. I mean,
to see Robin like that, I think was the thing that got everybody.
And young Uke, and it's Harvey Keen was my first manager when I came up in '83, and. He was perfect for that game because you know what he did? He filled out the lineup card and he left them alone.
Let him play.
Just let him play. You guys are veterans. You don't need me telling you what to do. Just go.
That story that Simmons tells of his first meeting, I've got 2 things for you. I hate meetings, and this meeting is over.
Yeah.
It's still one of my favorites. Rock, you're one of our favorites. You are always so generous with your time.
Yep.
Have a great call today. And we just appreciate you so much, buddy. We love it when you have time for us. So Thanks so
Anytime.
much.
Anytime. I'll come on anytime you want. So thanks for
All right, Tausch has got some days coming up.
This was my least favorite Rock appearance so far from every time we've had him on.
That's your fault, not his.
They can't all be home runs.
Yeah,
Thanks, Rock. We'll see you, buddy.
All right, guys. Thanks.
That is the great Bill Schroeder making all kinds of time for us with the boys at AmFam Field. And Tausch, I'm pretty sure you can see from your seats some signage for UW Credit Union out at the ballpark as well.
Indeed, and for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here forever. You, proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. People ask me, why'd you join UW Credit? Well, first off, they're in the community. They're at AmFam Field. The banking, staying local, well, yep, and they have great member-first service. But honestly, I just love Bucky. You guys know that. I love Wisconsin as well. And you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom will make you do crazy things, but, man, this makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member today. Get your Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
Training camp practice number 2 in full swing. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. Well, congratulations to the amazing team at Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie. They're celebrating their 60th year in business. Year after year, Zimbrick Chevrolet is recognized as a Best of Madison operation. If you've experienced the same great service I have for years, head over to MadisonMagazine.com/BOM and vote Zimbrick Chevrolet as Best of Madison yet again. Zimbrick Chevrolet is Dane County's #1 volume Chevy dealer. Stop by or browse online to check out the full lineup of Zimbrick Chevy's new and used vehicle inventory, including Dane County's largest selection of the hot new Chevy Equinox. And remember, it's always better to have your vehicle serviced before you hit the road for a summer road trip, so you don't have to worry about it while you're traveling. Tune-ups, tire rotations, oil changes, and everything in between. Book an appointment online today with Zimbrick Chevrolet's outstanding service team. Voted Best of Madison year after year and celebrating 60 years in business. Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie is the name you can trust.
The ESPN Madison Open presented by Coors Light is back. On Monday, August 4th, the ESPN Madison crew is packing their bags and teeing off at TPC, Wisconsin for a day on the links. This year's Open is benefiting Mentoring Positives, a nonprofit based right here in Madison dedicated to uplifting youth and families through mentoring, athletics, and youth entrepreneurship. The ESPN Madison Open is also brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Starion Bank, Celebrations Entertainment, The Bogey Factory, Bruner Realty, and Hush Blackwell.
Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep and relaxation, IKEA's home furnishing combines form and function to fit any lifestyle and budget. Visit IKEA Oak Creek today or explore their collection online at ikea.com/US.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Siding Unlimited recently installed 20 brand new amazing energy efficient windows. Our Siding Unlimited crew removed the old windows, inspected the wall for wood rot, installed the new beautiful windows, and cleaned up behind ourselves. It was easy to get started. The homeowner met us at our amazing showroom on 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. Trust me, our showroom is a must-see. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Jim Rutledge here. It's officially camping season, which means I will be using my big blue truck from Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. What does that mean? It means it's a customized buying experience. If you're an expert and you know what you want, they're happy to let you take the lead. And if you have a ton of questions, Aaron, Tyler, and the whole team at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb will make sure they can answer them all. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
The highly anticipated return of
Queens of the Stone Age, The End is Nero Tour. Friday, June 20th, Breese Stevens Field. With special guest The Kills. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. New album, In Times New Roman, available now. Produced by FPC Live.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Take my heart, don't break it. Love me to my bones. All this time I wasted.
Thanks again to Bill Schroeder. God, every time he's on, my cheeks hurt from smiling and laughing, and I'm smarter when it comes to baseball. So we always appreciate him making time for us, especially today when Jesse and Tausch are inside the booth at AmFam Field in advance of today's Brewers game. Tausch, I have a question about football, then we'll get to Whoa Nelly and everything else we've got left. So I'm watching as practice plays out here, and first of all, they're running a lot of stuff at jog through speed, not full speed. They are not in pads. This is not the same as your training camps or even your mini camps. So how much stock should I put into when guys do really good things? Like yesterday, Jordan Love was great in the 2-minute drill. Malik Heath had 2 huge catches, one with the ones, and then one with, I think, the 3s with Sean Clifford at quarterback. Mecole Hardman had a huge catch yesterday. But they're also not in danger of getting hit, and the contact level's obviously next to nothing. So I'm wondering, put this in perspective for me in terms of how much I should put into it and how much, more importantly, coaches put into what they see in these types of sessions.
I mean, I think you put a little bit into it. It's obviously better than if they're struggling and dropping 100 balls and they're not getting any better. But training camp is where you start making your name, and you earn those opportunities when you get into training camp and in preseason games, and then you continue to try and earn more opportunities. I wouldn't put a ton of stock in it. I don't think coaches – I think they like when you see guys moving around and – showing a consistency and understanding the game or what is in your playbook, and that you're taking those next steps. You're not making the same mistake twice. I mean, everything you hear in coach speak all the time, that's what coaches are looking for. But as far as, this guy had a dominant day at, Nitschke. Okay, cute. It can get you noticed. I think the big thing is you want to do, if you're at the bottom of, if you're 80th guy on the roster, if you're in that spot, that's when you could start looking at it and saying, well, I have earned this. I'm showing enough. And the coaches are like, let's take a longer look at this player. Outside of that, I don't think you want to get too crazy with it.
Yeah, I tend to look at it more of who's playing where and what people are doing than necessarily how well or how poorly they might be doing it, right? Like right now, it's punt return, and it's Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Matthew Golden, Mecole Hardman, and it looks like maybe one other person is over there. I want to see what those guys do in terms of, how consistent they are catching the ball and stuff like that. But it's totally different than if you're actually returning it, even in a padded practice. And so that makes sense. I just, I guess my default setting is to, as you well know, get a little more excited about stuff than I probably should. So I think it's important.
You know what? This is where you're at. And there's a cycle of life in the NFL. It's the draft process. It's free agency. And in this time of the year, this is what you do. You can overreact. It's okay. Have some fun with it. But just like you were crowning that wideout back in the day.
Tory Gurley. Yes, Tory
Take
Gurley.
it with a grain of salt and say, I don't know if this is – it's great that he's showing up and he's kind of getting that – he's earning more opportunities, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be running with the 1s and 2s. The big boy football starts and you throw pads on, but positioning yourself to become a big boy in those big boy situations is what the offseason in the OTAs are about. And if somebody makes a star-spangled awesome catch, just like at Family Night Scrimmage, what's the dude's name that made the
Kevin Casefaharn.
Kevin Casefaharn ended up having a really nice career. It was, again, one of those moments that I didn't know anything about him. Oh, what did he do? And Ron Wolf and Ted Thompson, everybody's looking on like, all right, maybe this guy, let's take a longer look at him. That's what this stuff is about for these young players. It's not about, oh, he's going to be this, he's going to be that. You don't know. Nobody does.
And it's about Bo Melton playing wide receiver and corner and punt block unit and coverage unit on punts and everything else. I can't wait for him to line up for a tush push during training camp. We'll have more as minicamp practice rolls on and Jesse and Tausch roll on from AmFam Field. Won't Ellie is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tausch here for Pizza Hut. You know I've loved Pizza Hut since the days I was back in school participating in the legendary Book It program. Man, I remember thinking I was busy back then, but that was nothing to how much we have going on now. Between kids, sports, work commitments, days out on the golf course, and summer vacation, how's a guy like me supposed to plan a meal in advance? Well, thankfully, Pizza Hut has the perfect hookup for me and my family. It's the Hut Hookup. All you have to do, spend $7.99 at Pizza Hut, and you get a free large one-topping pizza later. Yes, you heard that right. Get pizza now and get more pizza later. Get your own Hut Hookup now. Download the Pizza Hut app to place your order or go online to pizzahut.com. The Hut Hookup, available now only at Pizza Hut. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Atlanta Braves.
Back onto the track, turning, watching it fly. It's up, it's gone! Two-run home run, Jackson Chourio.
Today on 100.5 ESPN.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh from Mr. Irrelevant, and we are hitting the road. Friday, June 13th, spooky. We're heading to Door County Distillery in Carlsville. If you're spending the weekend in Door County, come check out Door County Distillery and hang out with us from noon until 2. That's Friday, June 13th at Door County Distillery in Carlsville. But even if you're not heading to Door County anytime soon, you can bring Door County to you with their cherry brandy for your old fashions infused with Door County cherries, whiskeys, rums, and plenty more. Check them out, doorcountydistillery.com.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tausch here with an offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
The Thunder respond in tie the Pacers at 1. Now the series shifts to Indianapolis. Game 3 of the Pacers and Thunder. Coverage begins today at 7:30 Eastern, with tip-off at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Indeed.
Let's make tonight the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. Got no reason not to celebrate.
Two quick things before Wonelli. One, Tausch. Nate Hobbs not practicing today. I don't know if he tweaked something, but probably. Well, that's what the tape tells you. So the nickel is Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Valentine outside and Javon Bullard in the slot. This is what we're talking about, though, when we talk about depth, right? Because one more injury, and now you're in a spot where you're playing a guy who has really never played in the NFL, any meaningful snaps. Kalen King isn't participating. He's got a broken arm. It would appear he's got a cast on his right arm. So this is what we're talking about when we're talking about depth, right? You're one or two, as Ted used to say, sprained ankles away from being pretty thin at a pretty important position, where they love to say you can never have too many guys who can cover, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. Two, the offensive line from left to right, again, with Rasheed Walker not taking part. Jordan Morgan, Donovan Jennings with Aaron Banks not out at left guard, Jacob Monk, Sean Ryan, and then Zach
Jason,
Tom.
You asked a little bit earlier about, what do you take from this in overreacting? If I'm Donovan Jennings, I'm excited.
Well,
Right.
I'm glad you latched onto that, because here's the problem with that. Yesterday, one of the reporters asked Matt LaFleur, I know it's only one, minicamp, but what does it mean for Donovan Jennings to get some work with the ones? And Matt said, I didn't know he did.
Ooh.
So I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you brought that up. So what does that mean?
That's not good. That is not what you're hoping to hear is, man, he has had a great IPW and OTAs, and he has earned the opportunity to go out there and run with the ones. When somebody's like, I'm not even sure who that is and what's going on, that's obviously not that's not the way I would want that answered if I was Jennings.
That is not something I've heard many times before, but yeah. Oh, I didn't even know he was out there with the ones.
He was out there?
That's
oh boy, what a buzzkill that is! Jeez.
So you will not be reading. You will not be reading the. And I feel the Channel 3000.
That'll make the State Journal. That's what that'll do.
So that is. I feel bad. There will not be that story being written this week, clearly. But hey, maybe he'll take that as a challenge.
Why is he running with the ones, and why isn't there?
Because I don't know who else they would put there. They've got they're two spotting. Okay, so they've got at the other end of the field, which I'm down at one end to steer clear of interrupting people trying to do their work by me doing the show. But down at the other end, they've got Anthony Belton at right tackle, and they've got a bunch of the young guys. Travis Glover, who filled in last year at guard, and it didn't go very well in that Philly playoff game. So I assume Donovan Jennings is a guy who's been here now. He spent all last year on the practice squad. At least the other coaches, if not Matt LaFleur, wanted to get a look at him with this group instead of with the number 2 group.
Out there. Well, take him
unbelievable.
off the list.
This guy's dead. Time now for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, guys, it looks like I will be running Whoa Nelly today.
Whoa, Chrissy!
Whoa, Chrissy!
I'm here.
Oh, you are here, Jesse. Do you want to run it, or do you want me to run it? Because it's been handed off.
Whew, I'm out of gas.
What is going on over there?
I don't know.
I was sent on an impromptu mission.
That's true. I did send you on a mission. He went to apologize to Pat Murphy.
In person.
I don't know how it went. I didn't get a chance to see if he ended up doing it or not.
I missed them, unfortunately.
On purpose. All right, so let Chrissy do it.
Yeah, I know.
Yep,
Chrissy's-
I'm out.
yeah,
I'm out.
Chrissy's-
Chrissy's in.
Way
It's
to
a win
jump in
for
there
everyone.
winded, and do it, though. All right, Chrissy,
And
what do we
interrupt
got?
her. Yep.
All right, we got time for one. Whoa, Chrissy, we'll call it today. And I want to talk about this because my roommate just put me on a new show, and we've been watching it the last week. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Love Island.
Temptation Island, I've heard
Temptation Island.
Yeah.
Revis Island.
You're
filthy.
showing your age.
Love Island.
You.
Yeah, I'm old. So what? All right, Chrissy, what about Love Island? What should I watch this?
Basically, in layman's terms, you take a bunch of 20-something-year-olds, you put them on an island in Fiji. The show's on every day, Monday through Sunday at 8 p.m. And
Netflix, or what is it?
I think it's Peacock.
Oh,
Well, so much for that.
That's a shame.
Oh, no.
That's too bad. That's a bummer. That was a good run.
But why I want to talk about this is my roommate is convincing me to watch it. And I've gotten to about 8 episodes now, and I can't stand anybody on this show. So what I want to ask is, how long do you watch a show before you give up on it?
1.5 episodes.
1.5?
You haven't entertained. No, well, you asked me a question, I answered it.
Boy, that's a quick hook.
If it's 1.5 and I have no interest or intrigue in it, I'm done. There's too many. This isn't the 80s, man, where you let Seinfeld deliver and develop. This is the new era. This is the Jesse Nelson era. You lose 7
Question
games,
the
you
manager.
fire people.
Yeah.
You let things. You used to be able to let things mature. In today's TV landscape, there ain't no time to mature. It's you're good or you're out.
May I chime in? For
And
a
I'm a
moment?
year and a half. I don't know.
I feel like somewhere in between 1.5 episodes and 8 episodes is the sweet spot to give up on a show. Are you going to keep, before Jesse interrupts, because of course he would never allow Chrissy to just do whoa Chrissy.
No.
You're going to quit watching this, right? If you're at episode 8 and you're already done?
She's got to finish the
She's
season
hooked
now.
now.
Here's
You
the thing.
can't go that far.
There's about 30 episodes in a season, at least from what I think. But it's
I'm out,
so
Jerry.
bad. It's like a car it's a car wreck. I can't look away.
Oh, no.
So we just started a new show on
Chrissy,
app.
before
on,
Jesse jumps in,
I see where this
can
is
you
going.
give me the synopsis of what this car wreck is?
Tausch is intrigued.
Is there?
He
No,
wants-
I am. Is there?
You're
like-
not
He'd
going
like
to
your
watch it. It's on
password.
Peacock.
Well, I won't.
He wants your
but-
password for
Yeah.
Peacock, Chrissy.
I mean, hey, if he wants to watch it, it is just so dramatic. Like, they've been together for 7 days, some of these couples, and they're talking about getting married and moving outside of the villa and
Love is
having.
blind.
It kind of, but it moves so quickly.
Love after lockup.
And they're all my age, and that's the crazy part.
So would you go on this show?
Absolutely
Oh,
not.
boy.
Absolutely
What if there was
not.
an appearance
God.
fee that went with it?
Appearance. You would have to pay me a lot because it's a rough show. It's a
Okay.
rough show.
Maybe you'd bring a higher brow of entertainment to it, though.
Maybe, but then I got to deal with 10 other people in the villa.
That's true.
So what is
Jesse-
it? 10? It's 10 and 10. That's what it is.
I think it's 10 total, like 5 couples. But they bring in people. They call them bombshells. So they bring in people to try and split up the couples.
I'm not
To like
gonna lie.
tempt them.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm getting more intrigued.
Oh, I knew
Chrissy's
it.
Talking. I think this sounds right up my bad reality TV show watching Easter.
If you like bad reality, right up your alley. It's voiced by a British dude who's the
hello.
narrator.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
All right,
You found it.
this might make me end up getting Peacock.
Love Island
So-
is going to be
so-
what gets you over
It
the
won't
hump.
be.
So the Badgers playing on Peacock, the movie that you're in being
I'm
on
not
Peacock, the
gonna get
60-yard
I'm not
line.
gonna get Peacock, Jason.
I think
Come
you're
on.
gonna. I think you're
No.
gonna. And,
You
and then
never
it's gonna
used
be
to
your
say you might.
That's
right,
true.
and it's gonna be your dirty little secret. You're not even gonna tell us, and then you're gonna
I
slip
will- I
at
will
some
tell
point and
you.
admit to watching something.
100% what's
I
going to
mean,
happen.
Chrissy, can you believe that this happened, brother? I can't believe.
Can't believe
Lenny,
Barbie
I can't
broke
believe
up with
Lenny went with
Fred.
Ellen. Like, what is going on? What a weird world.
Lenny and Ellen.
Just bring me on for a weekly segment and I'll give you all of the Love Island tea.
Oh my God.
And that is Whoa Chrissy.
Whoa, Nelly!
You guys are right. That
I'm not
was
gonna
better
lie to
than
you,
what I
that
had.
was- That was by far the best whoa episode we've had in a while. Chrissy might become like the bullpen. Like, hey, all right, time for Chrissy. Oh, wow.
I think we're all in favor of that. All right, we'll wrap things up from AmFam Field and Raynitzky Field next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Bruner Realty, providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for over 30 years. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get housed today. Luke Fickell's third year with Wisconsin, a big one. The air raid attempt failing the first two seasons. ESPN's Adam Rittenberg cautiously optimistic for new OC Jeff Grimes to adopt Bucky's traditional ways. More during his appearance on ESPN Madison's The Jump Around.
It's one of the more beautiful things to watch as a fan because you can just physically dominate an opponent. Wisconsin's done that, and there's really nothing that the defenses can do about it. And I think that's what you want to see is a team that can run the ball and be in favorable down and distance, score the ball in the red zone, and really kind of take the will of their opponent.
What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Pella has a product line for every budget.
No interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going, lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
The highly anticipated return of Queens of the Stone Age, The End is Nero Tour. Friday, June 20th, Bree Stevens Field. With special guest The Kills. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. New album, In Times New Roman, available now. Produced by FPC Live.
This is Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team. Help us take home the gold and vote for us every day at madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
Field and AmFam Field. Tausch, you mentioned it earlier when I was still in my basement, but I'm watching Christian Watson run straight line, not opening it up, not running full speed. The question I have for you is, is the next milepost, having been through the ACL process, when he's going to be allowed to cut? And is that the ultimate test to get over as he moves forward? Because you're right, he looks great when he's running, even at 3/4 or half speed.
Yeah, for me, and again, lineman and running and wide receiver / running back, it's different. I get that. You're running full speed. He's going to be close to 6 months out already, which I saw the other day, which I'm like, wow, I forgot that it said. I would not count him out. I would not count him out. I think you're not going to push it, but he looks good. You're seeing some of the stuff that he's doing. And if you can start feeling really confident about the cutting and some of that stuff, then you can start introducing some individual work. It's a whole different animal. But I think this whole concept that you had, and why I told you slow down there, young buck, is not everybody recovers the same way. Adrian Peterson came back in 4 or 5 months.
Right.
Now, was that the right thing? He had a great year. Christian Watson obviously has attacked this rehab in a big way. Everybody's saying all the right things. Yes, he needs to see more, but I think the idea and the question now, it's not going to be, is he going to be back by December? I think the question is, do you pup him? I bet you're going to start getting pup questions
right
about Christian Watson sooner rather than later if you keep seeing him progress.
That's it for us today. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Thanks to Chrissy for filling in for Jesse. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The UW Credit Union member, Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do,